Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on my YouTube channel again for another fallout of a pay-per-view. Welcome to the special Worldly Podcast edition. Money in the Bank Fallout live on my YouTube channel. It's Marcus from the Worldly Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Marquise89_. I'm joined with Justin again from the In Time Wrestling Podcast. We talked last night. We did our Great American Bash 2007 episode. That's going to drop on the 4th of July. Fucking fun. By the way, how you doing tonight?
Bro, it's almost like we can't escape each other right now. Like, what the hell's going on here?
That's what the League of Extraordinary Idiots do.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually surprised no one quickly responded to come on. The fucking group chat was just blowing, and I sent the link on the group chat, and so far no one joined yet. Except
They're
you.
going to sporadically show up. So,
yeah, we're doing Money in the Bank. I've been blowing up Twitter throughout the night. I will say this before we begin any further. This was better than Double or Nothing. I'm shocked.
oh, easily. This was an awesome show, actually.
And Vegas won the night. I don't know how UFC 276 going, but WWE won this weekend. We thought it was going to go bad. Remember when they couldn't sell out Allegiant Stadium, so they had to move to a smaller arena? It looked like they had a sold-out crowd. That place was jam-packed.
I mean, I didn't really give a damn that they had to switch places. It's not that big of a freaking deal. Like, oh, well, they couldn't sell out the one. Fuck it, let's move it. Who cares? It worked.
Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Superstar of the night was Liv Morgan. First, she wins Money in the Bank. We'll talk about the match later. And fast forward, she becomes the 5th superstar and the 3rd woman to cash in the same night, and she becomes champion. So, and Twitter just blew it up. I know you're feeling good right now.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
Of course I'm feeling good. Said it last night, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody but Riddle. I don't even give a fuck that it was Austin Theory. I
love
might be
Theory.
an Austin Theory fan now.
Please, I won't be the only one. I knew he was going to be. I got worried at first. Thank God. You got to owe Seth Rollins some credit to take an RKO for him climbing that and grabbing that briefcase. So he took an RKO just for you. So he wouldn't
Get it right.
win.
It's a BRO.
Excuse me, sir?
It's a BRO.
You're a BR ho right now.
I'm a hoe. I know.
Listen,
I told them.
Respect.
I thought the pay-per-view was really good. By the way, they were definitely better than Double or Nothing, and I think they just won the whole weekend. This might be better than UFC right now.
ooh, I don't know I'd go that far, but no, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I enjoyed most of what they delivered. That tag match stole the show, and again, as long as Matt Riddle didn't win that Money in the Bank, it is an A+ for me, baby.
So I take it that's your first swallow of the night was Riddle not winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest swallow of the night for sure.
That's like taking 6 loads and just swallowing them at this point.
My biggest swallow was Liv Morgan the whole night, winning Money in the Bank and cashing it in on Ronda Rousey, and the whole Twitter world is so happy. And then now they're mad at shit because Theory won. Like, fuck y'all. I love Theory. I'm glad he won.
I mean, Theory's got a lot of problems associated with him. He's got allegations against him. He's kind of fucking annoying. He's not as good on the mic as a lot of the top stars, despite what a lot of people who watch him on the indies want to say. I mean, he doesn't hold a candle to the John Cenas or anything like that. But he is also not Matt Riddle. So...
What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's going on?
He's celebrating Riddle not winning.
And celebrating Liv Morgan winning.
I don't understand how StreamYard always works. I did not put the GOAT. I'm not the GOAT. I don't know who did that. I swear to God, I did not put that on there. On mine, it usually says LFR.
Let Freedom ring. Yeah, let Freedom ring.
That's pretty much all it is. I think that Kendall might have done that from Four Families. And it may be
I
just
absolutely put fuck Riddle there. So.
He's not. He hates Matt Riddle with a passion. because their names almost sound familiar, and he's got other issues with them. I love when you share that. Please share again your hatred with Riddle.
I mean, my name's Matt Ritter. His name's Matt Riddle. I have been tagged repeatedly in posts for him, one of which was someone threatening to castrate me because they thought I was Matt Riddle. And then when I explained to them that I was not Matt Riddle and they tagged the wrong person, they blocked me and still have not unblocked me. So I have no idea where that went. I just don't like the whole California stoner surfer gimmick. It doesn't do it for me. It's not my kind of white people. Like I just don't rock with that. And I may have wished harm upon him in this match last night. Neither here nor there. If you go listen to the latest episode of the Smack and Raw podcast with Marcus up there, you can hear that full story there. But I said anybody but Riddle tonight. I didn't care if it was Omos or Madcap Moss.
Oh, he got an action figure.
Bro.
Man.
I don't. Well, I have a lot. I mean, obviously you can tell. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I have a theory somewhere. Actually, hold on.
I was on the anyone but almost train at that point.
We got a theory here too.
You got the NXT theory.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be the only one that's out there right now. But I didn't have a problem with how they went down with it. I thought it'd be Seth Rollins, obviously. I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people want to see Seth and Cody at Mania, but I'm like, it's only July 2nd. Mania's a long way away. So
now we're just getting the SummerSlam next, so they've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
So I missed like the first 10 minutes of Money in the Bank when it started. Did anything happen on the kickoff, or they just talked and bored y'all for an hour or
Just
30 minutes? That's
just talked. Nothing.
What's this fucking that dipshit? The former 24/7 champion still bragging that he was a former 24/7 champion. How about Peter Rosenberg?
Peter Rosenberg? No, he's just fucking Peter Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Well, I missed the first 10 minutes of that women's match. I heard it started off slow, but then it just took a whole nother level ever since Liv won. But there were many times I thought Becky was going to win it, or maybe even Alexa. Like, the rest of the women just kind of – I heard Raquel was pretty lazy in the match. She had a few botch moves. They mainly focused on Becky and Liv.
Fucking sucked in this match.
I don't blame Shotzi. Awful. I don't think that was Shotzi's fault. I think it was everyone around Shotzi. They just need to get on her level.
I don't know. She just was rough. I don't know who to put the blame on. I just think she was awful in this. Tripped on the ladder, tried to compensate for it with this weak ass looking DDT. Like, she just was awful in this.
I blame Raquel for all of that.
I take it Liv had the loudest pop when her entrance came out, because I missed all the entrances.
Becky honestly did.
Becky had a big pop.
I don't know. I think I popped the loudest when Riddle lost, but or at least popped the hardest.
I think it's stupid when he flips his flip flops off and the pyro hops and those fucking holographic animals come out of his crotch. Like, remember, it was fucking birds, then it was giraffes, then it was eagles. What's next?
There's rabbits at one point too.
Fucking rabbits.
I enjoyed Liv winning the match overall. I think everyone was having issues timing wise. This was definitely overall, outside of the winner, one of the worst women's Money in the Bank matches I've seen. Normally, they've been actually better than the men's of the last few years, and you've had a lot of highlights come out of that. This one, there's nothing that outside of Liv getting that win, I really want to go back and see. There are no spots. You know, you didn't have your Naomi's and Sasha's and things like that in this match, obviously, who really kind of steal the show. So I was a little let down. I was kind of hoping for a little more, and it was very sloppy up until the end.
I didn't expect much, so I pretty much got what I thought. You know, I just thought Becky would win the match, but you know.
What up, Joe?
That was something.
Yeah. We were talking about the women's match just now.
That was a good match. That was a hell of a good match.
Yeah, but we were talking about some of them looked like shit. Like Shotzi looked like crap. Lacey Evans looked like crap.
Raquel was like okay. Everybody else was just like.
This is
really
just
solid.
Justin perpetuating that whole gimmick he has about not liking attractive women who wrestle. That's
No,
all this
Shotzi was awful in this match. Everybody else was good.
Yeah,
Let's talk about a match that
it shows one of Shotzi's weaknesses that she's just her timing is still off so much, and it just sucks to say that because I love Shotzi, but she is just a mess when it comes to it.
You're a mess.
Bobby Lashley and Theory was a damn good match. I was impressed with how awesome this match was and so many near falls, but it's like everyone wanted the fucking title off of him, and he tapped out to the Hurt Lock, and everyone got what they wanted, but us fans got what we wanted at the end, like a big fuck you for talking shit on Theory all night, and he comes out winning Money in the Bank. So I knew he was potentially going to lose it. I didn't think he was going to lose it tonight. I figured wait until Cena comes back and helps him cost the match to build up a match with him at SummerSlam, but no, Lashley beat him on his own.
I thought for sure he was going to win.
I
thought for sure he was going to win.
I mean, Marcus, I said it in I said it in the ATB server. I honestly would be surprised, to say the least, if I've already figured out how WWE and their creative process is looking at the long term with Theory as the title holder.
What if John Cena faces Theory for the Money in the Bank at SummerSlam, beats him, and that's how he gets number 17 to tie Ric Flair?
Or
Because the whole... Go ahead.
So you're kind of where I am. Mine was Theory cashes in, and it's Theory versus Cena at Mania for the title. But then we also don't know, like, is he only going to cash in on one title, or is it going to be for both titles?
Which is
the only one that really made sense that if Theory cashed in would be Brock would have to win. Because that way it would be like revenge for what happened at Elimination Chamber.
But if Cena defeats Theory and takes the Money in the Bank from him, it's Cena then finally successfully cashing in the Money in the Bank, which is what Theory was taking shots at him for in that little promo backstage on Monday.
Yeah.
There's a lot
of
this, you know.
In the end, it just feels like it's too soon. They feel like they strapped the rocket pack on Theory, and it's just like, fuck, man, too soon.
Yeah, but who knows when he cashes it in? Like that's the big piece of this that we're, you know, it could be another. He has a full year, you know. So I'm not against it. Everybody thought Rollins. This is a little bit of a shakeup that made it a little more interesting, you know. At least that's how I took it, you know.
Okay, Bianca Belair and Carmella, it's kind of a mad match. We all called that Bianca was going to retain. But Carmella kind of hung in, and then she did the cheap shot way at the end, dragged her off the turnbuckle when she was celebrating, grabbing her leg and shit. Hopefully, I thought this feud was going to end, potentially after how that fallout of the match. We might get a rematch with these two down the line, maybe on Raw or something.
What's wrong with that?
No, nothing.
Carmella can turn it on. She turns it on when she needs to. She turned it on at the end of the match to get her heat back after losing. I enjoy the shit out of Carmella. I think she looked, I mean, for the little bit of offense she got in the match, I think she looks good. I've seen her put on good matches. I don't get all the hate that Carmella gets outside of the fact that she's never won anything on her own, but that's every time she's won something, she's basically been a heel. So that's the whole point of the character. So like,
I'm just glad she don't wear the mask anymore. But I'm just going to spit the fact that I have to hear fucking Corey Graves brag about his goddamn life in another title match down the road.
I literally said, can we just take Corey Graves off commentary for when Carmella wrestles? Because I am tired of hearing Corey Graves. And that shit happens.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
It's all right. But I mean, we all know how SummerSlam is going to be. It's going to be McAfee versus Corbin. I would love for a commentator match for bragging rights at Survivor Series, Graves versus McAfee.
Oh yeah, I saw on
Nice.
Twitter after the pay-per-view went off the air, Corbin attacked McAfee when the pay-per-view went off the air. I mean, premiere live event. I don't want to get in trouble.
I gotta look this up now because
I didn't retweet it. I just remember passing by it when I was just looking at all the people bitching about Theory winning Money in the Bank. I wonder if they had a riot because at Black and Brave tweeted, "If Rollins doesn't win, we riot." Well, there probably is a riot.
No, there's
No,
not.
there's
It ain't
no
nobody
riot.
rioting. Yeah, no.
This ain't Cena going to the ECW. Well, that wasn't the ECW arena. It was oh god, what was where they have ECW One Night Stand 06?
New York.
Hammerstein Ballroom.
Hammerstein. Yes. Yeah, very very different scenario here. If Rollins wins, we riot. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Throw some popcorn at some referees or something? Like, come on.
Break everything they can afford, so like paper cups and plates.
Yeah, like if people actually rioted at that ECW event, that would have actually been a riot. You ain't gonna do that at a WWE show. I don't think. I could be wrong, but and Seth Rollins will probably get the title anyways. You know that's gonna be the match at WrestleMania. It's gonna be Cody versus Seth at some point. I don't know how much it matters who won Money in the Bank, to be honest.
I just retweeted it, Joe. My friend Adam Goldberg screenshotted the video. I retweeted it, and they're fucking going at it. Like McAfee's fighting back.
Yeah, he was going at it.
Like he tried to jump, and then they just fighting back. Like he didn't just take the attack from behind.
No,
Do
he
we
didn't.
want to see Cody versus Seth at Mania though? Like,
No,
No.
no.
Depends. It depends on how they build it. I mean, obviously, they didn't end it. And if Cody's going to win the title, that's kind of the guy I'd like to see him take it off.
Yeah.
Depending on how they build it. Because they build it like shit, no, I'm not going to care. Because they've wrestled so many times. But I guess the other point would be like, I want to see Cody wrestle other people in WWE. So I don't know. I don't know how long he's hurt for either.
I just feel like you can only watch a porno with Gianna Michaels and Manuel Ferrara so many times in different settings before you get tired of it. Like, okay, it's in an office, and then it's in his bedroom, and then it's, in a studio, and just because you change the setting, it's still the same shit. Yeah, you put them in a cage, but it's still the same two people going at it.
I will say this: if Cody doesn't get hurt, I think that's the end of it. But obviously, Seth attacked him after the injury, and they're not going to drop it.
True.
So
Yeah.
I'm more interested to see where this descent into madness that both him and his wife are going into, because they keep losing together but separately. Like Becky was freaking out after she
she had
didn't
a
win.
tantrum. Holy shit!
Oh my god,
Like, it's not fair. What am I gonna do? It's not right. Like, it's not the fault. It's not the letdown of Becky. It's perfect for her character. Like, she's not going downhill. She's building talent up. I just love when she throws these tantrums, just like Kevin Owens throwing tantrums about the whole Elias Ezekiel concept. Which that sucks. No pay-per-view without Kevin Owens. Premier live event.
Okay. Can Dylan and Jordan just drive to your house and basically zap you every time that you say pay-per-view and not premium live event?
I mean, if he's gonna slap himself in the face every time he does
It's
it,
a joke.
I want to hear.
What the hell is a premier live event?
I don't know. They that's what they call it now. They're no longer pay-per-views. They
I guess
they
they're
don't call
not.
them.
Yeah.
It's funny they don't call them pay-per-views, but you could still order it on Dish and DirecTV like my dad still does.
Have you explained to your dad he's wasting like $40?
Yeah, but
Oh, he's probably wasting more.
Yeah,
It's probably more than
but,
that.
Yeah, but see, my dad's old. My dad's handicapped, and he don't know how to work Peacock. So, I
You
tried
gotta
to
you gotta get over there and just like, hey, I'm installing this.
I offered to like let him use my account at times, but he don't like to fucking change the channel from Dish to fucking like you don't like to change from HDMI 1 to HDMI 2 just to watch something a lot less cheaper. My dad can be a little impatient at times, but I don't blame him. My dad's recovering from a stroke. My dad's like one of them stroke recoveries.
Okay.
So like his tantrum kind of just went yay high.
Well, then I won't make any more jokes.
Hook him up. Give me your password or something, because
I have.
He doesn't need to pay that.
Sometimes he'll forget their names. Like he always calls Seth Rollins "Burn It Down." If he can't remember his name, he'll say "Burn It Down." Burn It Down won the match. Or like Hangman Adam Page. He loves AEW too. Like he'll say "Cowboy Shit." If he can't remember Hangman, he says "Cowboy Shit." Certain wrestlers got their own nicknames. Like Becky Lynch, call him Big Time, or the Man. You still remember that? Now, he had a name for Riddle, and it's not fuck Riddle. I wish I don't know why my dad. I guess because he hangs out with Randy Orton. I'm like, dude, Riddle fucking sucks. Like my dad liked Riddle at one point.
I'm not vibing on this. I like Riddle. I've liked Riddle for. I don't have it on me right now, but I have a nice picture with Riddle.
You've met Riddle?
You should burn that.
Yeah, I met Riddle.
Like
yeah.
Burn it down.
I like UFC fighters coming over to WWE, and I think he's a very talented guy. So
what up, Brocast? He's awake. It's daylight over there. I'm gonna tell him to get his ass on. I'm sending him the link.
Are the four of us not enough for you? You need another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get action packed here.
I need all my friends.
What can we argue about? Is there anything like we
can continue to argue about Riddle because he's
is
trash.
that pretty much it?
The only time he ever made me laugh was the whole about talking about Mrs. Balls, and he's like, "Prove it."
Some of the stuff that he does is corny. It's corny as fuck. I just know that guy can do a little bit more than what they give him.
And I know that he would be far better off in the 24/7 division, just riding a scooter around, letting people chase him with that belt.
The best thing ever was he goes, said something about a scooter. He goes, I forgot my line.
Oh, the thing with Asuka, that was hysterical.
I thought that was pretty funny. I do like Riddle. I like the way he wrestles, but the character development is they haven't done the best thing with him. But
I love the fact. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
No. That's pretty much it.
The night he faced Roman. The night he faced Roman on SmackDown, I was at an Astros game, but I like retweeted every fucking thing Matt said about Riddle because it made my whole fucking night. Saying like, "Oh, he just got murdered by the tribal chief or some shit." Like, I don't remember what I retweeted every fucking thing he said.
I've been happy dancing at his losing streak for quite a while now. It's been fantastic ever since. Randy went down with that back injury from carrying that tag team because Riddle's trash. I've been very happy with the progression of his career. Did you guys catch Montez Ford dropping an F-bomb at the end of that match for the tag titles?
No.
I know he was definitely mad, and he had justification for that after the planned referee missing the shoulder clearly up, because you saw the Uso pull the shoulder. You saw, I think it was Jimmy or was it Jay? Whoever did the cover, he pulled the shoulder up, so you know that was part of it.
Yeah. No, he got up and he walked over. He was yelling at commentary, and he goes, "Why'd they stop the match? Why the fuck did they stop the match?" And I was like, "Oh,
good. I like that. I like a little energy."
I do as well.
I think we can all agree the match of the night was the Usos and the Street Profits. That was a fucking great tag team match.
It was. I mean, and we said it in the preview, Marcus. That match is probably going to steal the show.
I gave it about a 4-star rating. But Justin made a point. It started slow, but then it fucking picked up. Because it did start slow. Oh,
Did
device not-
anything really steal the show though? Was there anything tonight?
Liv
that you
Morgan
really-
stole the show.
Liv Morgan stole the show. Yeah.
I'm happy for Liv Morgan, but it didn't.
I
I
just-
posted about it, but it wasn't like good for her. But it wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen. Obviously,
I mean, now we all knew that Ronda wasn't going to lose to Natalia at the very least. But it's just like I
Ronda's
don't
taking
know,
time
like,
off.
I get if Ronda's taking time off, but if that's the case, let Bailey come back and then let Liv have the contract for me like a month or two. Let her, get some teases back in, like they're probably gonna fucking do with Theory. Like at the very least, let Liv have some, fake teases and whatnot. But instead you have Liv over Ronda though. Like,
it's kind of like Nikki over Charlotte last year.
Ronda put her over, and that was enough right there.
Trust me, Money in the Bank doesn't hurt you in any way. There's been Money in the Bank cash-ins that you've been like, what? But and there's been other times like Sandow losing, or I forget who else lost. I think Cena lost. Yeah, they're catching you off guard, so I don't think it hurts Ronda. But what I didn't like about it was like Ronda's like raising her hand, and I'm like, she just cashed Money in the Bank on you. I don't know about you, but if I'd be kind of pissed off about that. I wouldn't be like, yeah, you deserve it. No, I'd be clotheslining your ass. You just cash in Money in the Bank on me. That I didn't really care for.
As far as all I seen was just Ronda putting her over. Ronda put her over, and if she's taking time off, why the fuck not at this point? Like,
no, which I get, but like she cashed in on her, and she's like, "Let's celebrate you." No, clothesline her ass, and then take the time off.
So I guess is she trying to have another baby or something? That's why she's taking time off.
I don't know.
I don't know about that, but again, it's still just like for me personally, like I wanted to see Liv, maybe like have a little bit of time with that briefcase, like maybe even like again, like if you have like a Raw or SmackDown or something like that, have like a tease or something like that.
I hope they give her a decent run. I just hope they give her a decent run and they don't shit her in the bed.
I mean, there were statistics that literally talked about how Carmella is the only one who's held on to that contract longer. Everybody else has cashed it in the same night.
I kind of like when they do that. Cash it in the same night. But I figured she was going to hold it. I didn't think she was going to cash it in tonight. I figured she was going to hold it.
It all just depends on the situation, and that was like a perfect situation. You had Ronda freaking hurting at the time. Take advantage of it as best as you can. She literally, because even Ronda, she literally, if you read her mouth, she literally just goes, "Oh shit!" as soon as Liv came out, and it was like perfect timing at that time. Like,
yeah, my only gripe with it was Ronda should not have embraced her. That was just one thing where I go, someone cashes on you, they screwed you over. You don't say, I'm going to raise their hand. Like we've had great matches, Bret Hart and British Bulldog at SummerSlam 92, where they had this great match and he raises his hand. I'm just going to say, in this particular scenario, I didn't think it was appropriate. Ronda should have been pissed. Her character should have been pissed. Not been like, oh yeah, you deserve it. No, you just cashed in on me. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's now Ronda's second time losing to Money in the Bank. Like, she had the whole thing with Bliss, where she ended up winning by DQ. Money in the Bank fucked her. Now she's gotten fucked by Money in the Bank again. So now it's just like, that's like seems to be her trope now, is Money in the Bank is her arch nemesis.
And she's just cool with it. Her character is just cool with it. Like, oh, yep, you screwed me on Money in the Bank. Let me raise your hand.
Sorry,
we lost you for good. Oh, okay. We got scared. I got scared.
I don't know how StreamYard works. I'm lazy and just use Zoom for everything. So I just went and I was like, mute and stop cam. And then it did. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take this phone call. I didn't realize it was. I didn't mean to scare you, Marcus. I'm okay.
Yeah, I thought it was like he's like fuck this stream. There's too many Riddle fans. I'm out.
That is true, but one is too many. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. Please continue.
No, we're just going back and forth.
Stuff.
We're going back and forth on, in my honest opinion, from just a wrestling, a character standpoint, Ronda embracing Liv, cashing in Money in the Bank, to me was kind of lame. Someone cashes in on you, you're not like, yep, that's the next champion. No. You should be pissed off about that. You just lost your title after you just won a match. Instead, it was like, yep, way to go. I'm out of here.
I mean, yes and no. She's supposed to be a babyface. Liv has been working forever for this moment. So she's happy that Liv did it. She understands that this is the risk that you take when you defend your title at a Money in the Bank pay-per-view and someone has the Money in the Bank that they may cash in. So them trying to make her the good sportsman, perennial baby face, whatever, it kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, this is a nice moment for Liv. If she had beat Liv down, it would have gotten her heel heat. I think she'd be better off as a heel.
Or at least just a shove. You know what I mean? Just to like, I can't believe you just did this to me. Instead, it was like, I'm embracing you cash in on me. I can't think of any other cash-ins where they like embrace the person. I could be wrong. There could be other ones. I just can't think of one.
The only thing I can think of is just Ronda was just happy to put her over at that point. And that was just it. Because it's like...
Which I get. She probably is from a human being standpoint, but that's Ronda's character? I just don't get that. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Does she have a character?
Not really.
That's the other.
Her character is she's Ronda Rousey. That's her character.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad point.
It's just, again, I said it as soon as she ended up doing it. I was like, wow, it's like she actually does stuff that Charlotte doesn't do. Charlotte doesn't put over people, but here's Ronda literally giving Liv Morgan this big ass win over her. It's like, holy shit.
What do you mean Charlotte doesn't put over people?
Because Charlotte is all about herself.
Yeah, but I mean, she's lost. Yeah.
Yeah, after suffering through bullshit that she's always done. It's nonsense.
Y'all see it like long? I wouldn't call it long term, but you see maybe a potential Ronda Liv match, like in a while from now when she comes back. Hopefully not at WrestleMania.
Possibly.
Not something I really want to see, but
no. The only matches I want to see are Ronda versus Shayna Baszler or Ronda versus dudes.
Ronda
and Shayna that's the money match, and the way Shayna Baszler is treated by WWE is
sad,
criminal.
It sucks. It really sucks, and I don't understand it at all.
Ronda and Shayna and Ronda and Asuka. It's the only matches we need to get from her at this point.
Shayna Baszler reminds me a lot of Sarah J. Like, she's not the best looking, so she doesn't get the credit she deserves for the work she puts in.
But she was so good in NXT. Like, she was a killer. And it was like, oh, main roster. Yeah. Becky Lynch wanted to put her over at the pandemic WrestleMania. She wanted to.
And that's what I'm saying, and I agree with you, is the work she puts in is fantastic. She's great at what she does, but I feel like because she doesn't have the marketable look for WWE, they're not making her the face of the company because that's how Vince is.
I almost feel like the fact that what they did with her when she came up on the main roster, the way people reacted to that is something that fucked her big time, because she literally dominates Elimination Chamber and everybody was like, this is fucking boring. And it's just like,
but that's what she's been doing.
I saw a shit ton of people saying that the night that she freaking decimated Elimination Chamber, and everything, and people were like, "This is fucking boring.
liked
Why are
it.
we having this?" It's exactly.
It was the
That's what
first
I'm
time
saying.
ever, but I hated how she did that to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan didn't deserve that ass whooping like that, but she proved the point. She's like a female Brock Lesnar.
There were
did
people that were
something-
literally saying that, and it was like,
And
I
you could've
swear
booked
that
her
was
that
the one
way.
thing that fucked her. That was one thing that fucked her. It was like a double-edged sword where everybody was like, we love watching Shayna be dominant in NXT, but as soon as she gets on the main roster and does it, everyone's like, no, don't do that. And it's like, well, why? You're doing the same thing that she's been doing for the longest time. And it's like, I feel like that's what fucked her. One of the
I
big
think
things that fucked her.
Shayna should just be louder on everything about how she's treated. I'm not going to be one of those people
Is she on Raw right now or SmackDown?
that are going to
SmackDown.
say anything about
Marcus.
this. Nothing I'm going to say about this.
Hold on one second. Marcus, we
but-
had this discussion yesterday. There is no on
Listen,
Raw
brand
or
split.
on SmackDown. The brand split does not exist. Don't ask those dumb questions. We literally just had a 6-woman tag match from Raw Superstars versus SmackDown Superstars on SmackDown because everyone goes where the fuck they want. There is no more brand split. There really isn't. They ended it without saying it. So
That's
it
what they did
doesn't
in
matter what
07.
she
They,
is.
they did the same thing in 07. They just kept putting people on different shows without actually addressing it.
So it's
Until
the
they-
wild card rule without it being the wild card rule. in a
Well, they
nutshell.
better not advertise a superstar shakeup or a WWE draft coming in October, because then it wouldn't make no fucking sense having it.
Does the draft ever make sense? Hey,
Now,
we're gonna
now
do
it
the draft.
don't.
We're gonna do it right before Survivor Series and say it's for brand supremacy. Yet everybody on the SmackDown team was on Raw for the last year, and everyone on the Raw team was on SmackDown over the last year. I'm like, why would you put a draft? Like, wouldn't you
Yeah,
wait?
it's-
I don't. That's why
that's
rather.
literally the draft. That's literally the
That's
draft every year.
That's
Everyone on Raw
why-
goes to SmackDown and vice versa.
That's
Then
why
they,
I
for some
rather it
reason,
after
say, "A
Mania.
champion." And for some reason, they're like, a champion should switch brands for some fucking reason. That makes no sense.
No. I rather they do the draft after WrestleMania when they start like this new era. And I fucking hate like if you're gonna switch champions on shows, I hate when they fucking do the trade. Like, oh, I'll take your red belt, I'll give you the blue belt. I hate those fucking trades. Like the New Day and the Usos did it, and then Becky and Charlotte did it last year.
What I hate is when they move someone from one show to the other for future draft picks that we never see realized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because SmackDown always gets the short end of the stick because it's a 2-hour show, regardless of how many future draft picks that they get throughout the year. They always get fucked and get less people.
The whole draft is so bad. It's so bogus.
It really
It
is.
really is.
It'll never be what it used to be. Like the year Cena went to Raw and shit. That was when the draft was fun to watch. Now it's
Yeah.
just now they're
I threw
trying
up-
to.
I threw up in my mouth. I remember going, damn it, I watched Raw more and I got to deal with John Cena. Damn it. And I respect John Cena now. But in 2005, I did not want him on Raw.
I was glad it was on Raw, but I liked how it was back then. Like they just randomly pop up. Now they're trying to treat it like the fucking NFL draft or the NBA draft, where they have these fake draft boards. Like USA Network has their own draft fucking board. Fox
they
has
don't
their
know.
own.
They
That's
have
so
no
stupid.
idea. They have no idea what they're doing with that. They're throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks.
They're trying to
And
be like the
nothing
professionals.
does. It's just I don't know.
And I hate how they use the actual fucking sound they do when the fucking pick is in, like the NFL draft and the NBA draft. And then they get on the board and they act like that with the first pick in the 2022 WWE draft. Monday Night Raw selects so-and-so. They do it just like the pros, and it's so fucking stupid.
I don't watch it, to be honest. I don't know if I've seen the last couple drafts.
I didn't watch last year's, but look what
Yeah.
happened. Like, for example, remember when they drafted all a Hit Row to SmackDown in 6 weeks? They all got fired one at a time.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Well, this is what happens when you hire everybody because you're afraid other people are going to get them and then go, oh, we really don't have that much room for everybody.
But now it feels like their roster's too deflated, which is like shitty.
See, now that is a company that I think could do a proper brand split where if you give one show over to Ring of Honor and you leave one show as AEW, and then do something like you did with the Forbidden Door thing, where one time a year you will see AEW versus Ring of Honor and all of that, and make them two, because it's two distinct different companies that Tony Khan owns both of. You could do that properly. And Friday's show being Ring of Honor Rampage, let's say 2 hours on Friday, building to their own pay-per-views and doing their own thing. You know, if they have a couple pay-per-views a year, and then AEW doing its stuff on Wednesdays for Dynamite and doing their 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year, having one pay-per-view where they go at each other, the top Ring of Honor guys versus the top AEW guys, that could probably be done properly. But the way WWE does it, it's all under one banner. It's not really two separate brands, and Vince is so indecisive about who he wants where. It's never going to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to, WWE is always going to appeal to guys like us. And then you have the casual fans. Obviously, AEW is for the real, like, we really love wrestling. Like, we have to watch it on this day. Yeah, I agree with you. You could do something really cool. I didn't think I didn't watch Forbidden Door because I didn't think it was an actual Forbidden Door. I was like, you guys pussyfooted the whole thing. If you really wanted to have a Forbidden Door, you would have done matches like your champion versus their champion. And you would have just had these dream matches that they just didn't do. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, it was Orange Cassidy faced
Will Ospreay.
Well, you're talking about Forbidden Door? Yeah, Will Ospreay.
Yeah, and I said,
match.
Great. Don't promote it as Forbidden Door. Just call it New Japan and AEW doing a pay-per-view together. Because nothing about that felt Forbidden Door at all.
I'm surprised. What were they? I have no problem with the name. It's just you couldn't think of something better than Forbidden Door. There's really no such thing as the Forbidden Door, and I guess
it's not forbidden. It wasn't Forbidden Door at all.
There's no such thing.
They've already been working together.
Yeah, there's no such thing because it's been going on for years. And then I guess Tony Khan was so coked up, he was watching the new Doctor Strange movie, and he's like, "That's my fucking logo, the fucking port from Doctor Strange. That's my logo for Forbidden Door."
But I'll be honest, they both companies pussyfooted the whole thing. They're like, "Well, we can't look bad, and we can't look bad." I go, "You could have done something really unique, but you both decided to take the easy way out." And that's
what did you think of Forbidden Door, by the way? Did you enjoy it, or you thought it was shit?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? Joe, did you watch it?
That's what I was saying about the show from the beginning. It just feels like it was going to be like, how the hell do you book this freaking show? Like, you can't have one company wanting to put over the other, but the other one's going, "Hey, what about us?" Like, it's freaking just.
You could have at least had both companies taking a hit here. They didn't. It just, the whole idea to me sucked because of the way the companies looked at it. And,
plus all the injuries.
And the injuries did not help. Yeah, Punk, Bryan,
that show was cursed.
Injuries have been really bad. I mean, for both companies, Punk, Bryan,
hell,
Cody Rhodes,
all of pro wrestling.
Yeah, there's all the stuff you want to see on both shows are injured. Yeah.
You watching some good porn over there, Marcus?
No, I'm enjoying more people bitch about Theory winning, and I'm reading these in my head.
I just stay off Twitter. I can't do Twitter. It's too much. It's rapid fire.
I didn't watch Forbidden Door because I didn't know who 50% of the people on the pay-per-view were, nor did I give a shit about them. So
I love your new names that you came up with for some of those Japanese wrestlers.
I told you, I just want to see him just have an episode where he just makes up new names for everybody in Japan.
I need to have a list and do so before the show, because as I learned last night with Marcus trying to make me do it on the spot, it takes a second. It just doesn't rapid fire that way. So you can't just throw shit at me. Though I did do one. I gave him one, and it was within a couple minutes of him asking. I had to stop him in the middle of one of his rants, but I got one.
I haven't gotten there yet, so I have to see this one.
Okay, for those who watched Forbidden Door, what you thought was the best pay-per-view of the summer so far, that or this one, Money in the Bank?
Raise your hand if you watched Forbidden Door.
How do I put my hand like lower? I don't know.
You know what I think was the best pay-per-view so far this year?
Slammiversary? You talking about in the summer?
Yes,
Yeah, that was a good one,
Slammiversary was
too.
the best pay-per-view of the year so far.
But I feel like you and I will be the only. Dan, you watched it too?
I just saw clips. I saw that it was pretty cool pay-per-view, but yeah, I did not watch the whole thing. I do order Impact Wrestling pay-per-views from time to time, but
Order the
it's
pay-per-views.
softball season. I miss a lot of stuff right now. So
Are you going to go to Death Before Dishonor? It's in Boston.
no, because I'll be at David Ortiz's Hall of Fame induction.
Wow.
So,
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think about this card, though? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I keep interrupting.
Oh, no. Nothing. David, do you want me to rant how shitty MLB is about putting Hall of Famers in? Or because I could go down that road, but I won't.
I mean, we're all baseball fans. Go ahead.
I hate this commissioner, be quite frank. And yeah, I want to see more Hall of Famers go in. And every year it's like they have an issue with somebody else. I can't even believe that David Ortiz is going in because he had a steroids allegation. Guess what? Steroids made baseball better and we enjoyed it. So fuck you, Manfred. I'm saying
Steroids made wrestling better too. Well, for Vince, technically, because he loves his big men.
Well, that's a whole nother. Oh man, I got a story. I got a story. I'll save for you for another time, because I know a little. There's a lot of scandals going on around that time, and there's a very not Chris Benoit level, but a guy that lives in Nashua, New Hampshire, that is blackballed from WWE that will never ever be seen again. That came around that same time.
The only trial I remember was the one from 93, 94 on Dark Side of the Ring with Vince versus the World. The whole steroid trial there.
Well, but the Ring Boy stuff was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
And that was around the same time. I met Mel Phillips and I had no idea who the hell he was. I used to party in high school. I used to party at my buddy's house, and in the apartment complex, there was this guy that lived there, and he came down one time and he was like, yeah, I used to drink with Andre the Giant. I was this, I was that. Had no idea who he was. Almost 20 years later, I come across the Ring Boy thing and I go, oh my God, that's Mel. I met that guy. Oh my God. And then I Google his name and it goes, living in Nashua, New Hampshire, working at Best Buy. And I was like, how the hell does this happen? Like, this guy's in my hometown. He's the biggest scumbag that's ever. Yeah.
I don't know if he's bigger than scumbag than just incredible.
No, this guy, like, I don't know what he did, but he was bothering the Ring Boys and they fired him. He's pretty bad. He's on the level of like banished Benoit style. Like, he was never acknowledged ever again.
I was gonna say, Marcus, I don't know what your metric for bad is, but I'd say harassing Ring Boys beats no showing and talking shit to podcasters.
Yeah.
That's all he did. He must do
No, we don't know the whole story, but like, this guy was like, I didn't believe him when he said, yeah, he's like, I have a storage unit. You want to see it? No, I don't trust you. And then when you find out years later, you're like, oh, this guy's like really bad. Yeah. And he was living in my hometown.
I'd like to see a story like that. If it drops,
he's probably dead. He's probably dead by now. This was like 2002. But
this was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but he was fired way before that. So if you saw where this guy was living, to be honest, when he said he worked for the World Wrestling Federation, I said to myself, I go, no, you, okay, buddy. Okay. That's great. You're living in this, like, crappy apartment. Like, you would think like someone that worked for WWF had money, right? Once I found out who he really was, and I believed the story. I was like, I couldn't really believe it. He was really and when I Googled his name and it said that he was working at Best Buy in Nashua, New Hampshire, I was like, this is unreal. I actually met that guy. And Mel Phillips, look him up. He's probably the most disgraced. Pat Patterson was part of that. Pat was brought back. There were other people that weren't. What was his name? Garvin or something like that. There's a lot of people that were part of that. And there's a very dark history there. Not only did Vince go through the steroid scandal, but he went through that scandal all at the same time. If you go on YouTube, there's a Donahue episode where Vince had to address both things. And Dave Meltzer was on that episode. And this is why Vince hates him so much. Because Dave, you can just see the disdain that he had for him in, I don't know, 1990 or whatever it was. Like, yeah, look it up. It's a messed up story.
FBI memo show Bureau disregarding videotape of Mel Phillips sexually assaulting a ring boy.
Yep.
I think he is dead.
He probably is. This was, like I said, this was 20 years ago when I met him. And then I never thought about him ever again. And then I came across a YouTube video and I said, oh my God, that looks like
he died 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And this sexual, it's funny, this sexual allegation happened around the same time Vince McMahon raped that fucking woman. This happened in 1986.
So I want to say one thing on, I don't want this to go viral or anything like that, but Phillips claimed that when I met him, that Tatanka had a sexual relationship with Vince McMahon. I don't believe that.
I'm not surprised.
He was trying to bury, but
Matt's as soon as fuck. Matt's ready to talk.
I told this guy I was a wrestling fan, and he said, but I didn't actually think when I met him, I really didn't think he was telling the truth. I thought he was a liar. I just thought, oh yeah, you worked for WWF? No, he really did. And one of the biggest scumbags that's ever worked for the company. Living in my hometown.
Just to be clear for anyone that's listening to this, diddling ring boy is definitely worse than anything Just Incredible has ever done.
100%.
100%. Also, Vince McMahon was in a relationship with Tatanka, is what he told you.
By Mel Phillips before I actually knew who he actually was.
Oh wow.
He said, because I'm trying to remember how it all, like he came down, like this guy he was a sketchy guy.
Where is fucking Front Face like when you need him for this fucking conversation?
And all he said was, he's like, oh, you guys, because, we were partying, we're young, listen, if this guy I was 18 at the time, I would have put him in a chokehold and killed this old man. But he said, oh, I had the best drinking partner ever. And he said it was Andre the Giant. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, well, I used to drink with Andre the Giant. I go, yeah, okay. He goes, no, I worked for the World Wrestling Federation. I said, yep, okay. And he just kept going on, and he said some things that were homophobic about Vince McMahon, and then made claims about Tatanka. That really happened. Like, I'm not making this up. Like, it was really messed up. And I said, okay. And I never thought this guy was telling the truth about anything until years later. I came across the Donahue episode, and then I figured out who Mel Phillips was. Then I Googled Mel Phillips, and I found out he was actually living in my hometown around the same time. And I was like, I can't believe this is real.
I mean, I've made jokes about Riddle's succession in WWE being due to the fact that Vince fondles him underneath the table in those segments. Neither here nor there. I just feel like if Vince was fondling Tatanka's tomahawk, then possibly
I don't believe him.
He would have been, WWE champion. Like,
yeah.
I don't feel like if you're handling the grapefruits properly in a way that you are in a relationship with someone, that you wouldn't be skyrocketed through the company.
I 100% think Mel Phillips is a scumbag piece of shit, and I don't believe that, but he legitimately said that to us.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Dave Meltzer is going to be putting out an article tomorrow on Wrestling Observer or Wrestling Observer News about Tatanka's sexual relationship with Vince McMahon, as per and then you'll be quoted. So be ready for
All
that.
right, Melissa. But yeah, it was. Again, it took me about almost 18 years to find out that guy actually was who he said he was, and I couldn't freaking believe it, you know. But I hope he is dead because it sounds like he was pretty bad.
It said he died in 2012, so March of 2012. Don't say how, but it said he died.
Does it
10 years
matter?
ago. No, it don't matter. With what he told me, it don't matter at all.
Oh, I mean, he didn't look like a healthy guy at the time that I met him, and
I'm pretty sure he's
obviously-
not healthy if he was having allegations with a fucking ring boy.
Oh, he got fired. He was fired. He was gone. Pat Patterson was brought back. Ricky Garvin was, I think, fired as well. There's a lot of scandals that WWE's had, and it's crazy they've survived all of them. You know,
It's just a little harder now that they're publicly traded. When
That's
it was
true.
private, Vince was able to bury allegations, bury bodies,
And
things
had
like
the
that.
money
without
for it.
people
And
finding
had
out.
the money
Yeah.
for it. And had the money for it to keep it shush.
but he doesn't care. He's literally what's his name there? Wolf of Wall Street, right? Vince is up
Yeah.
there going, "I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving." And then he's on TV every week.
For shits and giggles too. Like he's not even doing anything. He's not coming out and saying anything important. He's like, Cena's the greatest superstar in the world. Peace, bitches. And
Yep.
then leaving.
Next, he's gonna come out Monday night and introduce the new Mr. Money in the Bank Theory, and then he leaves. Watch.
I mean, he's
calling-
not in charge, but
I'm calling it. I'm calling. Did he show up on SmackDown last night or no?
I didn't watch.
No.
Me either. I was doing recordings with Justin, and then I jumped on SmackDown Raw after that.
He's gonna. I don't think he cares. Would you really care at his age? Probably not.
I mean,
Yeah,
he can die anytime soon, so yeah.
I don't think he cares. He just doesn't care.
I'm still enjoying the fucking memes of when he jumped off the steps. I mean, nothing's gonna top the Michael Jackson Thriller that Matt shared. But I saw one. Remember when Sting jumped off the fucking top of the stage at Forbidden Door? They did that with Vince.
Never saw it.
That was funny as fuck. I still like the Thriller one. I also like the Nirvana Nevermind album cover photo with him in the water chasing the dollar.
Oh yeah.
Quick Sting question. Am I the only one like Surfer Sting better than Crow Sting?
Yes.
I'll take that. I will. I love.
But you're old school. You lived to
I was
see
gonna say-
Surfer Sting.
To be fair, Dan, I did not get into WCW until Crow Sting came around. And now that I have gone back with our secondary podcast, we drop once a month, Return to Wrestling, where we started with the very first Nitro and we work our way through WCW. Again, that whole California Surfer thing just never worked for me. It never has. It never will. So when he went emo and he painted his face black and white and dyed his hair black and hit people with bats and just started beating the shit out of people who were his friends because they were talking shit. Like literally that's all that's going on right now is every time Sting shows up, it's to beat up somebody for talking shit. Like he doesn't care what side they're on. Like that's what won me over. That's the Sting I personally grew up on. So going back and watching it, like seeing this Hulk Hogan-esque. I will say this, and this is a controversial take I've had. If Sting was in the WWE when Hogan was there and given the same push Hogan was, he would have been just as big as Hogan, and we would have been better for it because we would have got better matches.
I don't just. He was to me the friend. So I started watching Sting in probably like '92. I was a staple, and Marcus, I'd have to assume as a Southern boy, like you probably loved WCW Saturday Night.
I've watched it a time or two. I've been to one WCW Saturday Night, which
I would watch
ever.
605 TBS every week. I was watching, and Sting. I never knew this at the time. Was part of the Blade Runner, or I think with the Blade Runners with the Warrior there. and I always loved the Ultimate Warrior, but then I would turn to WCW, and Sting was like the Ultimate Warrior, but like better. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, here's the difference. The first Saturday night I've ever went to was in 1999. That's the first WCW show I went to. I didn't see Sting until TNA. When I went to my first TNA show, I saw Sting. When I was going to WCW in 99, Rey Mysterio didn't have his mask on. And I remember this was the main event that night. It was the fucking West Texas Rednecks, Kurt Hennig and Bobby Duckham Jr. versus Arn Anderson and Barry Windham. That was the main event.
How old are you, Marcus?
I'm going to be 33 a month from tomorrow.
God, you've had a hard life. I would have thought you were in your 40s at the least.
No, I got black. I don't have gray hair. I use just for men. No, my mom stood by the microwave.
Gray was why I shaved my head. So
no, but my mom did stand by the microwave when she was pregnant with me.
That makes sense. I didn't realize I was 2 years older than you. That's weird.
I thought you were like close to Ryan's age. I thought you were like late 30s.
35.
You're 35.
Yeah,
I thought you were
I'm
like
in my
38.
I'm in my late 30s. So,
which is why you were still, big Sting fan in 92. Whereas, like I remember being like a fan of Hulk Hogan when I was 3 and didn't know any better. But like my love for wrestling came with like the Mankind and Undertaker stuff.
Yeah, Undertaker was your number one.
That feud started, so that's really when 96 is when I really started getting into wrestling. And at that point, I wasn't watching WCW. And then once DDP hit, because I live in Chicago, so you had Rodman with, the NWO and Karl Malone and that whole thing. That's kind of where I got sucked in, and I started seeing stuff with Sting and all of that. And so I didn't really get exposed to Surfer Sting until much later in life. And at that point, it was cheesy.
So he had the best theme music ever. He's a man called Sting. Like I love that. Like it would just hit.
Yeah, you said Undertaker was your like number one. I asked you that a while back. You said like Undertaker. Yes, you said Undertaker was your number one. I take it you were more the Phenom. Like when he did the American Badass gimmick, did you like it or you were really pissed?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But then again, dude, I was like, so if I was born in 87 and that was what, like 2001, 2002?
2000 he started. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at, I was 13. He came out to Kid Rock and Limp Bizkit. Like, yeah, that was
Which
fucking
theme
awesome.
you like better, American Badass or Rollin'?
American Badass.
I love because I'm a Kid Rock fan. I'm probably gonna get stabbed for that, but yeah, I'm a Kid Rock fan.
I
can
Kid
tell that
Rock.
looking at you.
I always like Kid Rock. I will say this: the Undertaker's and Ric Flair are the first wrestlers that made me actually cry. I remember it was Survivor Series 91. I was in first grade. I never thought Hogan could actually lose.
Great moment.
Does anybody remember this pay-per-view that I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen 100%. Highlights, and I've went back and watched it on Peacock like a couple years, last year, 2 years ago.
I'm watching this now. You got to understand, I'm 7 years old. I'm scared to death of The Undertaker. I'm scared to death of this guy. But it's Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan's going to be the guy that can beat him. And he is beating him. Here comes Ric Flair.
Yep. Distracted.
Flair throws the chair in. I go, no. I'm like, no. And Hogan gets pinned. I go, and my dude, first grade. I'm just tears in my eyes.
And this was this on Thanksgiving night or was that the night?
It was the eve before Thanksgiving because that's how they used to do it.
Survivor Series was on Thanksgiving night till 90, and then
it was Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, but see, Survivor Series started on Thanksgiving night from 87 to 90. They jumped to Wednesday nights from 90 to 94, and 95 was the first time they went on Sundays. But see, you're a prime example. When we did our John Cena 20-year special, I said back then I've heard from people in their 40s saying Hogan was the man during their generation. Cena was our Hulk Hogan in my time. I mean, Stone Cold mainly, but I'll say Stone Cold and John Cena was.
My whole thing was, I love John Cena now, but why I couldn't get on the John Cena bandwagon was, I grew up on Hogan and Warrior, okay, and then it was Bret Hart, okay, from Bret Hart.
I grew up on Ultimate Rock.
But here's the thing. So now I'm in my adolescence, and it's Austin The Rock, and they're the most badass. Like, we just say whatever we want to say when we want to say it. Then it transitions to John Cena, and John Cena is kind of like, at first he's like the rapper or whatever, but then he becomes the Hulk Hogan that I watched when I was 7 years old. Now I'm an adult, and I don't want to see that anymore. And that's why, like, that's why he didn't hit that demographic.
Which I like more out of Austin and The Rock.
Austin.
Yeah, I would say Austin, but man,
I loved Austin, but Rock was my guy. Rock was the reason I started watching WWF.
Lightning in a freaking bottle. How do you get that many talented guys?
Joe, you ain't said nothing in a while. Austin or Rock?
In terms, I gotta go with Austin.
Justin?
Yeah, I was Austin always. There was just that badass, like, redneck beer drinker that was just kicking everybody's ass. That was just,
and he was doing shit. He was doing shit all grown men people want to do. He was beating the fuck out of his boss.
Right. It does. And I like The Rock. Don't get me wrong, but Austin just drew me in more.
Who do you think was better on the mic, The Rock or Dusty Rhodes?
The Rock.
Yeah.
I'm talking about promo-wise, but I mean, Rock talked a lot of shit, but you're talking about who could cut a better promo, Dusty Rhodes or The Rock?
I still say Rock.
Yeah, it's two very different promo styles. Dusty was inspiring. Dusty made you want to get behind him and root for him, whereas The Rock made you laugh and enjoy what he was doing. Like, it was two very different ways of looking at things. Like, Dusty could come out. If you had a Dusty Rhodes versus The Rock feud, Dusty will cut a promo that will make you think that he could beat The Rock and get you behind him and make you love him. But if they were going back and forth one-on-one, The Rock is probably going to make you laugh and find various and creative ways to insult Dusty Rhodes. I'm sure Dusty would always have a comeback, but I don't know that they would match The Rock's.
I mean, Hard Times will always be one of the best promos ever done. But there's a lot of good Dusty stuff. But, man, The Rock could do it. You're also talking about two different eras. The Rock was on a weekly show. He had to knock it out of the park on Raw every week. Dusty didn't have to do that in the NWA. And when they brought him in WWE, they were like, we don't really want you cutting promos anymore. You're gonna wear polka dots. Rock, very different eras. Dusty's are always going to be more iconic, but Rock did it every week. Like, he literally knocked out the park every week, and that's wrestling had changed at that point, and that's really hard to it's hard to compare the two, I guess. But I would say Rock, but it's hard to compare them.
I want to apologize for anyone who's tuning in to hear us talk about Money in the Bank and are hearing about Sting, Hogan.
We basically just covered.
This is better than Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but I don't have. Yeah, but you don't have to sweat it because I only have like fucking 12 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So
hey, 12 is better than
Yeah, but the only thing we didn't talk about was the men's match. I mean, I did like the fact that they all fucking teamed up on Omos and to keep him from winning because he didn't need to be in the fucking match. Buried him in a pile of ladders. Took 6 people to put him through an announce table, even though Drew looked like he was just holding him with his fingertips. I mean, I enjoyed them taking Omos out of the match. And Seth Rollins' ring gear was fucking awesome. The robe and I loved his ring gear. Justin, you want to say anything about the men's match?
I mean, I thought, thank God, almost got taken out for most of it. So it's just, it was a great men's match. And again, the Theory thing just leaves me like, what do we got next? I'm just looking to see what's going on because I really don't even know how to react to it. Again, I just feel like it's too soon for Theory right now.
What was your reaction when fucking he came out and said, "Oh, we're gonna add an 8th member"? I thought it was gonna be fucking Brock or something. No, it's Theory, which I thought it was
Cena.
No, not Cena.
Cena would have made sense.
I missed it at first, and then I'm just like, wait, what the hell is Theory even doing in this match? Like, what? Like, did I miss something when I went to the bathroom?
And I was expecting, like, I was waiting for Corbin to come out and cost Madcap the match. It didn't happen. I was waiting for John Cena to come out when Theory was
No,
grabbing
thank God that
briefcase.
is over. We don't need to
I
run that back anymore.
I never thought Cena was coming at all.
I thought about it for
I
1
remember.
second, but when he unhooked it, I said, "Oh, it's over. He won," and I was happy. But I don't think no one was more happier than Matt because Riddle did not win.
That is correct.
Instead, he did an RKO to Seth Rollins, so Seth Rollins did the ultimate sacrifice for Ritter.
Okay.
I mean-
Okay. Are you talking about the wrestler? Or are you talking about my quarterback that's going to help beat New Orleans in the regular season?
Oh, what are we talking about?
Don't worry,
Football?
Mac Jones is gonna beat all your asses, so don't worry about that. And now I'm not be taken seriously, but go ahead.
I don't feel like there was anything spectacular about this men's Money in the Bank match. Nothing memorable that's going to live in our memories or going to make me want to go back and see it, other than the fact that I can go back and watch Riddle lose again, which is always fantastic. But I don't know. Like, I feel like if you were going to put almost in a match, this is the match to kind of let him shine, because he doesn't have to do much. He just kind of has to exist. And there's plenty of demolition that he can create. So yeah, eventually you have to take him out of the match. But this is I feel like this is one of the matches where him being who he is, he could have shined a little more, really wrecked some people and felt more like a monster than he really did. Madcap being the seventh guy didn't work for me. Like, I feel I know there are injuries and shit, but I feel like there are plenty of other people that I would have rather seen. I'm actually, like, I know Justin's all like, oh, well, what do we do next? I think they pushed the, but I didn't want to see Seth win again. Like, I don't want to see people win the Money in the Bank who have been world champion, who have already won Money in the Bank, because I've seen
I
that
agree
shit.
with that 1,000%.
So Seth and Sheamus, like, we know Drew's got the winner of Brock and Roman at Clash at the Castle, or unless I don't know which one's coming first, but I think SummerSlam's first.
SummerSlam
like-
is first.
So
I was so
like,
glad they didn't get to give it to Drew just so they could use it as a reason to like solidify the match with Roman. At
he already
Clash at the
declared.
Castle. I was like, that was so
he already
stupid.
declared, and then I got to throw this in. So after Money in the Bank went away, Vince, Stephanie, Triple H, and Pat McAfee showed up at T-Mobile for UFC 276, and the champion Israel Adesanya came out to Undertaker's theme song with the hat and a fucking urn with his managers. It's fucking
Yeah, I know.
crazy.
Somebody just messaged me on Facebook Messenger and sent me that. I have no idea who the guy is
But
because I don't
this
watch
is-
UFC,
this is-
but it looked cool as shit.
I don't know if you could see the picture, but I just I'm gonna retweet it. They show Vince, Stephanie, and Triple H and McAfee in the crowd. McAfee got a neck brace on after he got attacked by Corbin,
He's so funny.
and he's drinking. He
He's
looks
so
like
funny.
he's drinking a fucking glass of whiskey.
He's just he gets us.
Mm-hmm.
McAfee gets wrestling fans.
Yep.
I don't know how else to explain it. He's like one of us, honestly. Like
One of us. One of
Yeah.
us.
Whereas, like,
I'm excited
Tony
to see
Khan
him.
is
more.
the worst of us. McAfee is the best of us. Like, McAfee's
So-
the wrestling fan you want to be. Tony Khan is the wrestling fan you worry everyone thinks you are.
when every time Tony, when he hugged Cesaro, he hugged Okada.
Came in his pants.
I can't believe we
like-
didn't talk about that on your show
Uganda.
last night.
Nobody brought it up.
I don't know. I was waiting. No, we mainly talked about blood and guts and all that shit. The scissoring. That's, by the way, that's what you named your episode. And I saw I wish they'd have let you use the picture you chose, but fucking TikTok being dickbags and took it
Yeah.
off your shit. Oh, that was great.
That's BS.
Tony Khan is a fanboy with money, and it's kind of like it makes it entertaining. But man, does he go over the top sometimes? Like
You've been to an AEW show before?
3.
Yeah. So you saw he always comes out before the show starts, and
Are
after
you
the
excited for AEW Rampage? We have the most stack card we've ever had ever. I'm like, oh,
Wait.
Boston gets that every time.
I think I
every time
told
you
you
Every
to
this.
card is super stacked to him.
Wait,
every time
I told
we
you.
come to every time we come to
think-
Boston, we have the most stack card you've ever had. Like,
Wait, I'm pretty sure he did the same. I think I told you this when he came to New Orleans. When he came out, he's like, It's so great to finally come here. We got an amazing card for you tonight, and we're going to kick off the show with a big surprise. And then he fucking says the surprise, CM Punk.
I've been to, I was at the second AEW Dynamite, which I don't think he came out too much. But the last two, since the pandemic has calmed down, there was one I had to wear a mask, the next I didn't. He does come out and he's like, "You're not going to believe what we have here." And he goes, "We got Jon Moxley." I'm like, yeah, he's on your rock. He's on your rock.
I saw him. I went to both shows in Houston. I went to both shows in Houston, and then I went to the one in New Orleans. Plus, when I went to Super Card of Honor WrestleMania weekend, he came out, and that's when he announced that Ring of Honor is working on getting a fucking TV deal with either Warner Brothers or Paramount. And he's saying, Ring of Honor is back. We are fucking back, baby. Like, you act like you've been a part of Ring of Honor all this time. You just bought the company with your daddy's money.
Well, you bought the company that you put out of business, because if he doesn't start signing all those guys, I mean, let's be honest, All In was financed by Ring of Honor, and then he came in and took everybody.
Okay, so Death Before Dishonors on July 23rd. They just made 3 matches already, but they're only building up for one. Like we're getting Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe finally.
Sure.
Oh, so that's a Ring of Honor show.
Yeah. So they just announced 2 more title matches out of the blue. We're getting Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia for the Pure Championship.
Knew it. Damn.
Essentially AEW guys, but okay.
And potentially, they said Jonathan Gresham's going to defend the title, and we're like, who the fuck is he going to face? They're putting him in against Brian Cage.
Makes sense. They moved Brian Cage over to Ring of Honor. They were promoting him with Tully's boys as their kind of
Gates
Ring
of Agony
faction. You know,
I forgot the other guy, but yeah, whatever Tully Blanchard's faction's called, it's Brian Cage and Gates of Agony, which is Khan from Shane Taylor Promotions and this other Samoan wrestler. I forgot his name.
Listen, Tony put them out of business.
Yeah,
he did.
Gates of Agony.
I don't think Tony needed to buy this, to be honest. I'm not sure why he did that, but you know,
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Who do you think FTR's going to defend the title against?
Like he's just
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You're not gonna. We have the most stacked card we've ever had. I've been on shows where he said that.
Did he also say this was the best city we ever came to?
That I don't remember. Like he's like, "Are you guys ready for AEW Rampage?" Like, yeah, Tony.
And he comes out dressed like a fucking homeless person. Like, you think he come out in a suit and tie? No, he's wearing like turtleneck sweaters and wrinkly pants and shit.
Do homeless people normally wear turtleneck sweaters?
I don't know. He just, with how roofy his fucking hair looked, I thought he was a homeless person that got on the stage.
I was just kind of curious as to what homeless people in Louisiana looked like.
I couldn't even imagine if that man was married.
I've seen homeless people covered from head to toe. Like, they look like they're dressed for winter and it's summertime.
I mean, I tweeted him last year. I said, "Hey, how do I get a Tebow Jaguars jersey?" He never got back to me. I had to buy it on my own. And then he was cut.
How'd that turn out?
He was cut the next week, but I do have it.
So you're the reason he got.
Essentially,
fucking McAfee is selling it.
I just couldn't imagine Tony Khan being married. Imagine him going home and just telling her it's going to be the most stacked card right now. Like, fucking
the most stacked card. This dick in your pussy with some cocaine on the side.
Oh my god.
That's a stacked card when it comes to sex.
Honey, are you ready for AEW Dynamite?
You ready for this AEW, this All Elite Wang?
He does the same shtick everywhere he goes, but I applaud him. He cares. I think he does care.
I love his passion, but he can't run a fucking company on his own.
No, he can't be the only booker. He can't be the only, listen, they're never really going to compete with WWE. I mean, maybe when we're all dead and gone, but let's be honest. Do you guys see them in the next 20 years, actually competing?
I don't see them compete. No. They'll still be in business as long as they don't compete.
If they get someone who can actually book their show and their talent, if Tony puts down the coke and realizes, hey, maybe I'm not the best person to do this, because I feel like they were doing better when the people that were actually in the business had a little more say in what was going on the shows, and it wasn't just Tony booking what in his mind were fantasy matches from, you know, his fanboy perspective. But if you can get a Paul Heyman, if you can get, you know, someone with a great mind, like a Raven or someone with a great mind for the business, come in and actually book your show. They have the money, they have the talent, they have the TV time, they have all of the things to compete, except for somebody actually putting the show together so that they can compete. Like,
I don't disagree with that. Tony Khan's essentially just a fan with a checkbook.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how to book an actual wrestling show. I could tell you what I wanted, but I actually don't. I have no experience. I don't know, and that's what he is. He's just rich, you know. Like,
and that's where a lot of people get mixed up. Is so everyone's like, well, you know, I like AEW because it's wrestling. But in the world of professional wrestling, there are so many different tastes and things. Like, if I was booking, everything would be like The Undertaker, The Fiend, Kane, like. Because I'd be booking to my taste, what I enjoy, the supernatural, dark characters.
Treat it like the Attitude Era. I would kind of treat it like that. Yeah.
Of course you would.
Well, I always think it's funny when fans are like, I can book this. I could book this
bullshit. I hate when they talk like that.
Well, no, but this is the thing. I've had a couple people on my show that have actually booked for independent wrestling places where they were actually wrestlers and whatever, and they go, you have no idea. You have no idea how hard it is to just book an indie show for an Elks Lodge. Now try to do it at WWE and I'm like, yeah, I think that's like super hard. It can't be easy. You know?
I don't know. You think the fact that Vince and all them at the UFC pay-per-view right now, you think they're trying to sign another fighter to the company?
No. They're trying to make it's a holiday weekend. Hey, we were there. Like, that's all.
What's your I gotta ask you, Dan. What's your take on fucking Logan Paul signing with WWE?
This might piss people off. I don't have a problem with it. I thought he could wrestle. But not only that, you know, I stick to what Vince McMahon says. I don't know. Does anybody watch the Monday Night Wars over and over? Or maybe it's just me.
I've only watched it twice.
I've watched about 7 times. Watching it again, Ted Turner goes to Vince McMahon and goes, hey, Vince, I'm in the wrestling business. And Vince says, that's great, Ted. I'm in the entertainment business. And I know that Logan Paul is kind of not. I think if you do bad things, if it's to a certain degree, you can be forgiven, right? Logan Paul, that whole thing with the suicidal Japanese force, that was fucked up. I 100% agree. Can he be forgiven for that? I think so. If he's genuine, I think he did apologize for it. But no, I don't have a problem with the signing. I don't think he'll be there every week. And
he'll be a part timer.
You're gonna get the Miz, Jake Paul thing. His brother's a freaking fraud. An actual boxer. But no, I don't have a problem with this at all. Yeah.
Logan Paul's a douchebag, but when you want to heal, what do you want? You want a douchebag. Like I said, him and his brother have been faking boxing matches like it's WWE for how long now? So why not go do it where they do it professionally and you can get a solid paycheck for it instead of having to hope that people aren't going to see through your bullshit and continue to pay to buy your fights.
That's why I never pay for the fights. I go on someone's Facebook or Instagram live stream and watch it for free.
I never pay for a Paul fight.
I don't think anybody would, except if you're a massive dick sucker for him. But here's a bigger reason why he's a douchebag. Joe, tell him about that fucking Pokemon card he wore at WrestleMania.
Oh, the Charizard?
Was it $5 million card?
Okay, it's not that expensive.
And please quote Jim Cornette again, please, while you talk about this.
Oh, that one that he has. Isn't it like the only one in freaking like production that they ever made, though?
Are you out of your goddamn mind? The only one in production? That Charizard card is a first edition hologram Charizard card, and essentially the mindset of it is back in the late 90s, Pokemon trading cards really weren't all that big. But as Generation 3 came around, it started to get a lot more beneficial. And then the first edition cards from like Gen 1 and Gen 2 started to become a thing. And like those first edition cards were a major thing. And I guess the holographic Charizard card was considered to be this holy grail card. I don't know why. I didn't make the rules per se. But for the most part, all I know about the card is that this holographic Charizard with it face down using Flamethrower is like the rarest card to find, and if you find it, it's minimum $20,000.
The one though that he had wasn't though. It wasn't a Charizard. It's like a card that they only printed.
My bad. You're talking about the Illustrator card.
That's what it is. That's what it was.
Okay, let me do what because sorry, I was in the middle of a tournament battle when I was talking about, so I got my miscellaneous. So that card, it was a Japanese Pikachu Illustrator card. So what happened was CoroCoro magazine, which is I guess it's sort of like People in a sense in terms of like magazine popularity. Back in the late 90s, they had a Illustrator contest, and if I'm not mistaken, that card was only given out to like 30 people or something like that.
I thought it was like a tournament like prize at one point too, or something like that.
So what exactly is this? What like this is like a tournament? Is this like Magic the Gathering or something like that, or?
Well, along with the TV show and then eventually the video game, Pokemon was a trading card game where you would play kind of like Magic or anything like that, where
actually
you get them. And
so the story of Pokemon starts with their founder Satoshi Tajiri, because Pokemon is based off of his hobby of collecting bugs in Japan, and he worked with Junichi Masuda, Shigeru Morimoto, all them, and it took them like 4 years to convince Nintendo, okay, fine, we'll give you an opportunity, we'll give you a chance. Just get the hell away from us, essentially. February 1996 comes out, February 27th, 1996 to be completely accurate, because that is Pokemon Day. It released in Japan. It was a worldwide hit. Came to America in 97. The anime followed. Cards were a thing. Originally, it was supposed to end with Gold and Silver. It wasn't even supposed to go past Gold and Silver, but Junichi Masuda basically put himself in the hospital working on Ruby, Sapphire, and that basically just blew up the franchise. Then you got all the VGC, like the World Tournament is going to be in London next month for video
Wait. There's like a tournament? Oh, it's a video game tournament. Okay.
There's a video game tournament. There's a trading card tournament. There's a Pokemon Go tournament. There's a Pokken tournament. There's a Pokemon Unite tournament. All in Worlds from August 12th to August 22nd of 2022.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean,
I remember
Columbus just had the North American International Challenge.
I had a lot of friends that had Pokemon cards, but I didn't know I had no idea like the details to it at all.
It's
skyrocketed. Yeah.
I had cards growing up. I kind of got out of the cards. I still play the games.
Yeah, you got a Switch. You got a Switch. They just put Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo Switch Online.
So the old Pokemon Snap, but they also have new.
I like the old one. No, I ain't played the new one. I love the old one. But no, you gotta do Jim Cornette again about the Charizard card.
Oh my god.
I mean, he was like, what's this about this Pokemon card thing? What exactly is that? It was some like why the hell is this card worth so much? Brian Last, why can't you tell me how to do it, Brian Last? Tell me a little bit more about this Pokemon thing that is so much. Wait, it's worth that much? Huh? What?
That is the most accurate Jim Cornette I've heard.
What the hell is it? Whoa, he said, what the fuck is a Charizard?
Why? He's asking that. It goes, it's supply and demand. People are into it.
And
That's why-
clearly, he should have had Joe on to explain all this to him and not Brian West, because Joe knows.
I saw a Forbidden Door joke
the original base set of cards just is in price is obnoxious.
It's crazy.
All right, I'm gonna.
People buy Pokemon cards like people buy like fucking baseball
An
cards.
original base set sold at an auction for like almost $300,000.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
people
that's
go
not
crazy with that, just like they go with baseball cards and shit. Like y'all have that sports card app and shit. Like they treat it like that.
I'll listen to it.
By the way, you want to talk about Forbidden? I saw a Forbidden Door joke just now. Tony Khan and Jim Ross are also at UFC 276.
I don't want to take this too off. I don't want to take this too off the rails. But we're all about the same age. Does anybody remember Pogs?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
As a matter of fact,
That
I
was
had
the
a whole gimmick on my show where I tried to convince, at the time, my co-host, but also my producer, that one of the businesses we should try and get into is bringing Pogs back, but putting Pogs on Pogs. So fat-ass white girls on Pogs and selling them. So Pogs on Pogs was one of my $1 million ideas that I had.
Those were the like people used to get like, I don't know, as kids, like they get pissed if you took their, you know. I don't know. This made me think of that.
I love collecting those things.
I mean,
Jesus
every
Christ.
collectibles come around and they come and go. You had Pokemon trading cards, you had Beanie Babies, Pop Toys were huge a couple years ago. I've got a whole fucking wall full of them right now that I need to get rid of.
I love wrestling figures. That's how I roll. You know, like
in a nutshell, Logan Paul was kind of a reason why the card thing blew up so much, because
he had something to do with that.
Yeah, he went out and bought like a base set and had like this whole live stream where he had a bunch of friends freaking opening packs up, and he was just trying to pull that Charizard card the entire time, and it was just.
Is that the thing he had?
It's in a protective
it wasn't
case.
that card though. It wasn't that card he had on his neck.
Oh, he probably bought that one from Walmart or something.
Yeah,
he wanted to pull it just so he could get it PSA graded and all this other shit. So
I had no understanding of what that was even about.
I wonder if like Pokemon has their own like app, like the Sports Card Investor app.
Marcus, I'm gonna back out real quick. I'm gonna listen to it, transcribe it, and then I'm gonna repeat it word for word. Okay?
All right, go ahead.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I wonder if they got their own like little app and shit, because like, you know, Sports Card Investor, if I don't know if y'all heard of that, that's where you can like find or auction off these fucking baseball cards. Like
I'm sure looking at Pop Toys has Funko has their own app that tells you the value of all the Funko Pops that you have in your collection.
I'm sure they go up higher. Like for example, I'm looking at a 1957 Topps Mickey Mantle PSA card for $18,000.
That's obnoxious. Like,
I've just ordered some fucking ones for like 30 or 40. I ain't fucking paying fucking thousands of dollars for a goddamn card.
I'm not into cards. I'm not. I think the only thing I really like to
I just do my team, so that's it. I just do baseball cards, and it's only on my Astro teams. That's it.
I've got a couple here for you, Dan. I've got this Undertaker.
Ooh, I like that. Oh, that's like 99.
Yep, the Ministry, and then I've got.
So you're smoking skull belt in the background. Did it come with that case? Did it come with that display case it's in, or it's separate?
Case back there, and then
you
Fiend.
gotta have the Fiend. I got the Fiend back here somewhere.
Your Money in the Bank chair. Did you go to Money in the Bank in 2011?
2018.
Oh, 18, when Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss won. Okay,
that is correct. I was third row. You can actually see me on the telecast. I was third row behind the announcers.
What's your Funko Pops right there?
Ric Flair, Vince.
Oh, it's wrestlers.
Becky Lynch, Triple H, Glow in the Dark Undertaker, and the Fiend. And then over here, it's Jason, Michael Myers, Guan Yu.
Oh, I was going to say, do you have your monster ones too?
Yeah, Sweet Tooth and Gollum.
Did you build that shelf?
Awesome.
Where did you buy that shelf yourself, or did you build it? Like, I like how it resembles with your Funko Pops, how they're like lined up.
So I'm not a baseball fan, even though you said we're all baseball fans. But
Yeah, I'm not a
the
baseball
stuff that
fan
the Funko
either.
Pops
So.
are in are actually baseball bat display cases
Oh wow.
that I just
Oh.
hung vertically.
You must
That's
not be a
awesome.
sports fan at all. I figured you like any team in Chicago, like Bears, Blackhawks,
I mean,
Bulls.
if the Sox are doing well, I'll pay attention in like the playoffs and stuff like that, which hasn't happened since like 05. But
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
there,
outside of that, the only sports I really get into is football, and I even got out of that the last few years.
Bears
like,
fan.
Well, because of the Bears and specifically Jay Cutler kind of killed my love for football. So
I will say I have a you can't see it here, but I have a autograph by Danielle Harris, Halloween 5 poster, signed to Eric. It was on the side of a road one day, and I was like, "Wait, what the? That's
What?
I'm just gonna take it." And
Yeah.
literally, it's not signed to me, but I was like, "Hey, this guy just got rid of this." I was like, "It's signed by Danielle Harris." I'm like, "All right, I'm just gonna take this."
All my professional displays are in my bedroom in that forbidden door. All my LSU shit's just in my front room.
I got to meet Danielle Harris, so I've gone to a few conventions, met a bunch of people. Most of the stuff that you can kind of see on this wall is all signed stuff from conventions, but I had a huge crush on her growing up. She is the only celebrity that I've met that I just could not talk to. Like, she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hi." I'm a fan. I've been
You
a
sound
fan
like
for a
me.
long
You
time.
sound like me when I
They-
met Paige.
I'm a diehard. I love the Halloween movies. Like, I know I have a Jason mask in the back. I just don't have a Michael Myers mask anywhere.
I'm
but,
waiting
like,
for the trailer of Halloween Ends because I'm definitely gonna go see it, and I'm gonna rewatch the remake and Halloween Kills before I go see it again.
well, if
Yeah,
you
this is
guys,
signed
I
by
mean,
Nick Castle.
oh no shit,
Yeah.
because I will do an episode on that show. I'll let Freedom Ring because I like to cover. I just on my show we just cover whatever I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how we roll.
So that
Um,
Jason picture under your Michael Myers picture, is that a painting?
That is a drawing.
That is a
that
fucking
this guy does.
awesome drawing.
So the Michael Myers picture is actually a painting that an ex-girlfriend of mine did a long time ago before I got married that
No
I've held
shit.
on to. And then the
Is that Jason
drawing-
X?
No, that's the remake Jason.
Who
Okay.
is- what's the little doll? Is that fucking what's his face from Star Wars? The little doll, right?
The thing in red there?
Yeah.
That would be a pinhead.
Oh, it's Pinhead. Oh, it's,
Oh.
Nice.
by the way, I like your Jason Voorhees welcome sign right behind your head.
That's awesome.
That
Yeah,
is
the
awesome.
welcome to Chicago sign that I put the mankind.
Oh, it
mask
says
over the
welcome
hockey
to
mask.
Chicago.
Yeah, it says welcome to Chicago. And then I put a mankind mask over.
Oh fuck
Jason
yes,
mask.
that's awesome.
That's
Fuck yeah.
fucking awesome.
Marcus, you should do an episode where you just show like all our cool stuff.
Well, Matt's given me an idea. When October comes, I kind of want to do our top favorite horror movies and shit. Favorite slashers of all time. Favorite movies and horror movies.
Oh,
Dislikes.
I would love that. I mean, the Halloween franchise is my favorite. It doesn't
Yep.
get any better than that.
I'm gonna
Nope.
buy the 1978 Halloween
So-
on 80s.com soon.
What's your favorite Halloween, Dan?
Okay, so this is we did an episode on this, and it got heated. I think at the end of the day, the original 78 is my favorite. But what happened was I did not grow up on horror movies. It was not
Okay.
something I grew up on. You know who got me into it? And you're gonna laugh. I know I'm gonna get shit for this. Rob Zombie.
Okay.
From Haverhill, Massachusetts, apparently. I didn't know that. It was said on my show the other day. I didn't know that Rob Zombie was from Haverhill. So what happened was I was watching them on AMC. And then in 2007, Rob Zombie put out his Halloween movie. And I was like, you know what? Like, I've been watching kind of like bits and pieces of it. And I went and I saw Halloween 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. And then I was like, oh my god! Then I just got addicted. You know what I mean? I was like, I gotta see 7, 8. I gotta see number 2. I got 3, and then obviously not 3 was the witches there, which I own too, which is not that bad of a movie.
It's not. It's just
It's not that bad of a movie. It's just not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And then you got the return of Michael Myers.
We're
5
talking about
was like,
horror movies now, Joe.
5 was like 5 was I still loved it.
Okay, so you don't want me to because I gotta transcribe.
But
yeah, after he talks about his Halloween.
That is essentially how I got into it. Was I was in college, and Rob Zombie put out Halloween, the new one, and it sucked me in. And then I got hooked on them. Like I'd never seen them until I was like 22 years old.
Yeah.
And then I just 78. I mean, the original is probably my favorite, but man, that last one. Oh my God, and they had Loomis and Michael, I can't wait for this movie to come out. I can't.
So
talking about Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was either Revenge or Return of Michael Myers. It's my favorite.
Okay. We're gonna put a pin in this because I feel bad that Joe left the chat to transcribe all of that. So I want him to be able to take all of that hard work that he put in and utilize it, and then we'll come back to Halloween.
Yeah, spot is yours, and then Matt's gonna explain his favorite Halloween out of the franchise. Go ahead, floor is yours.
In the Jim Cornette voice. Logan Paul comes out. They never say how much the Pokemon card is worth. He's got a Pokemon card around his neck, and surprisingly, it's the most expensive Pokemon card. Now, one of these days, I'm going to be interested enough to find out what Pokemon is. I know it's some type of card game, but the knowledge ends there. And then Brian Last says, the card is valued at $5.2 million. Well, that's what I found out when I read the internet afterwards. What kind of fucking moron? You got a $5 million card. If Tony Schimmel was still the ring announcer, I bet you he'd have taken it. You know, I can understand Action Comics #1, the first appearance of the most iconic superhero of all time, and it's now 90 years old, but a fucking Pokemon card from 1997. And then it just goes into Logan Paul stuff, like the match review.
Which is very telling because he sees value in comic books from when he was a kid, but doesn't understand how things from when adults who were kids in the 90s have that kind of value. And it's a generational thing that we see. You know, everyone thinks, oh, when I was a kid, the stuff that I like, that makes sense. But the stuff that kids liked when I was an adult, that stuff's stupid. And I do it now. Like,
I 100% agree with that, though. That's how we all look at it.
Ritter, what's your favorite Halloween?
So kind of like you, my buddy Reek Havoc, he is the host of the Havoc Hour. He's also part of Young Kings Wrestling. We cover horror movies on his show. He does sports, but mostly when I'm on, we're talking movies and we do franchises. And I got shit because while I see there's a distinction. While I think the 1978 Halloween is the best Halloween, my favorite Halloween is actually Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Okay.
Ooh. That is a pick.
The reason is, up until the most recent film, if you watch the franchise, that is the most badass and brutal Michael was in any of the films. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, is Michael Myers to that point, and even beyond that, at his most badass. He was just slaughtering everybody with no feeling, thought, or malice. He was just coming through and wrecking people left and right. He was kind of like early 2000s Kane in WWE, coming in and just smashing people everywhere. Nothing fazed him. And I also love the lore that is introduced into these things. Like, a lot of people like the mystery. I've got it right here.
Oh, really? Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
A lot of people love mystery and they prefer their Michael Myers not knowing what motivates them. I like the lore. I like finding out things behind them. I like giving these characters some backstory. So when the Curse of the Thorn was introduced, and then when you get into the producer's cut of Halloween 6, where you find out
Which is
that
better, yeah.
Michael basically had sex with his niece and produced an incest baby and all of the other crazy shit that they cut out and put in the final film, like it is my personal favorite of the franchise. Though I will agree, this new one, Halloween Kills, has kind of reached that level of badassness for Michael Myers, and I was really entertained. The only thing I didn't really enjoy from that I felt kind of out of place, and I didn't go see it in theaters, I actually watched it at home on Peacock, was the whole the mental patient. And I know why they put it in, and I know the purpose of it, but it felt out of place for me in the rest of the movie.
It was to build like the mob mentality thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one real evil, it's Michael Myers. And I didn't like that part either. I gotta say 6, that's a good, like, that's an interesting pick. And I like that kind of debate, like, because so many people hate that film.
I know.
They hate that film. Paul Rudd is in that film. But I gotta say, the Curse of Thorn thing, they actually continued it, and it gives him a little bit more. I do like my Michael Myers to be like, there's no reason for why he's doing this. He's just a psychopath. But again, I get flack because I love the Rob Zombie version. The first one.
First one is. I was going to say the first one's great. H2 was terrible.
I'm Rob Zombie, and I want my wife to be in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
I killed her in the last one, so
I know she's gone. But now Michael has a voice, and I was like, that what? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Everything after that. Obviously, Resurrection was. I'll still watch. Like, I'll watch all of them. I thought H2O was pretty good. If you're gonna kill Laurie Strode though, in Resurrection, Jesus, that was horrible. Like, why would you do it like that? Doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
H2O is no. Halloween 5 is my least favorite. H2O is right there next to it. I cannot, going back and watching that, stand the PG-13 teen movie that they turned Halloween into with Halloween H2O, with Josh Hartnett and the chick from Dawson's Creek.
It felt very like, Scream and like all the other, yeah.
Money in the Bank, Fallout, went to horror movies. Fuck it.
I did an episode ranking the Halloweens. I've done a episode ranking the Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm. We haven't done one. I think that's the only two that we've really touched on, because those are my two favorite franchises.
What was that fucking Halloween they did in 2002 with fucking, was it Ice-T and shit? Was it Halloween Resurrection or something like that?
No, it's Resurrection. Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is the only person that kicked Michael Myers' ass. It's Busta Rhymes.
He was entertaining as all shit in that movie, though. He really, really was.
That was more of a comedy to me than a horror. Yeah. Well, that was more comedy to me than that. Okay, so let's move on. Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to say my favorite one was Dream Warriors.
Yep, I agree. I think the original is good too, but 3 was the best.
But back on Halloween, the original one from the 70s was awesome, but what made it so bad, there was no blood.
But that was what made it great.
You didn't need blood.
I thought making it blood would be better.
Thank you. No. Horror shouldn't be about blood. It should be about being scared.
Yes.
You don't need the blood to do that. If you can make a scary movie without having blood, you're a goddamn genius. And that's what they were.
And that's the thing. Blood in the way that in the gore that we have now was introduced because people got desensitized over time to horror. So they had to keep ramping it up and ramping it up and ramping it up. And now people feel like they have to have a lot of blood. And mind you, one of my favorite movies of the last decade had a shit ton of blood in it. But neither here nor there. This movie did what it needed to do without any blood whatsoever. It made Michael Myers into the icon that the Friday the 13th franchise was built off of and built because like there's nothing about that movie that needs to be changed, and adding blood to that movie would not make it any better.
It was pure brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
You listen, at the end of the day, and you don't need blood. I'm not afraid. That doesn't make me afraid. Like being actually scared means like that has nothing to do with blood at all. And that's what they did. You know, like you should be, when you watch a horror movie, you're invested in the character and you don't want them to get killed. Doesn't matter how that death ends. It doesn't have to be bloody. It doesn't have to be anything. You just don't want them to get killed.
Which is exactly what The Undertaker did with Hulk Hogan in 1991 for you.
Which is why I cried.
And what he did to Paul Bearer in 2004 and Muhammad Hassan in 2005.
Now, I would ask this question because I have a whole episode on this. If you go on my YouTube channel, because it got heated. The best Friday the 13th movies, or your favorite. I get a lot of flack for this.
Again, not the traditional pick. It's actually the one most people hate. Yep. Or no, you want two. Oh, no.
Yeah, I get a lot of shit.
What the hell? What is that? No, that ain't what it is. No. No. Nope.
I love
Not
that
buying
movie,
it. Not buying
A
it.
New Beginning.
That one's actually good. I like that one.
I love this as well, but yeah,
I like
two
that Jason figure.
2 was my favorite, but then like I will say this. Once I saw Jason Lives, I was like, oh, I freaking love this.
So
the whole Alice Cooper song, and like it was just unbelievable.
After Jason comes back to life from being dead in 4, I'd say of those films, and I also still really like Jason Goes to Hell. Again, for the lore, I've got a whole thing that I've built around the fact that all of these horror movie characters exist because of the Necronomicon, which you see in Jason Goes to Hell, but that's a whole different discussion for another time. Halloween or Friday the 13th 5 is actually probably my favorite.
A New Beginning.
Which is funny because it's the one that doesn't feature Jason as the killer.
Ooh.
I'll
It's
say
got
that.
Big Jason.
Yeah.
Because that's the
that one.
Tommy.
Jason Lives too was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, I love Jason Lives, but that was the Tommy Jarvis like trilogy. Because I've seen it broken down like that. It was like 4,
5, and 6.
5, and 6. Yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting pick.
And the reason, so there's multiple reasons for it. I originally was on the bandwagon of, oh, this is stupid because it's not Jason. But when you look at this movie mimicked the original in ways that no other movie has. The entire reason that Pamela did what she did was because of the loss of her son. That's why the franchise exists. And when Roy shows up and sees his child murdered, he then does what Pamela did and takes on, he finds out Tommy Jarvis is there and he uses that whole mythos to then try and pin the murders on Tommy and get revenge on the people that he blames for the death of his child. It's also got arguably the best breast in the entire franchise and someone whose actual last name is Voorhees, Debbie Sue Voorhees. And if you're a fan of The League, Taco from The League is the lead singer of a band called Wolfie's Just Fine that has a song called A New Beginning that is all about how that movie is what introduced him to horror and everything. It's a fantastic song. New Beginning by Wolfie's Just Fine. So that, the kills are cool. The fact that it's not Jason and it's kind of a mind fuck and you don't know, is Tommy Jarvis crazy? They're playing off, the ending. And the fact that they basically wanted to use Corey Feldman, but he wasn't available. So then they had to make this whole movie out of nothing.
I also think they couldn't pay him at that point. They didn't want to pay him what he was worth. I think that I could be wrong.
If I remember correctly, because I did watch.
He did Goonies at this point.
Yeah, he was doing Goonies, and I think he had a commitment with Steven Spielberg. He wanted to come back, but Steven Spielberg was like, "Hey, I got a bigger check," so he, went with that. But
I'll give you that's a fantastic take on that.
Y'all consider one of the
That's
what
a
you think was the
fantastic
worst?
take on that.
What you think was the worst? Jason Takes Over Manhattan or Jason X?
I would say what was the one after when they wanted to have the Carrie character. God, I've ranked these and I can't think.
Was it New Blood or was it the final chapter?
no, it was
it was
New Blood.
probably
Final
New
chapter
Blood.
is 4.
Okay,
I
so
did
it's New
not.
Blood.
I did not enjoy New Blood. But also Jason Takes Manhattan was Jason on a boat.
Yeah.
That was Jason on a boat, and that's pretty much all it was. You know what I mean? Like he was in Manhattan for a hot second, and they didn't have the money to actually film it in Manhattan, so they just
Going back to Nightmare on Elm Street, did you like Wes Craven's New Nightmare, or you thought it was
it's fantastic.
Loved it.
Oh,
I own all these movies, but yes, I didn't. I loved it.
Did you think Dream Child was the worst or Dream Master?
Dream Child.
Dream Child?
Yeah, that was weird.
I like some of the kills. Which one was it? It might be Dream Master. What's the one where the old girl was working out and he fucking blew her arms out and turned her into a fucking cockroach and then just crushed her?
That was Dream Master.
I think that was the same one. That's the one where he's like, "Bon appetit, bitch."
Yeah, he started becoming like a cartoon character, which was the only thing that like started to kill those movies.
Mm-hmm.
I thought New Nightmare would like reestablished it, but that was kind of like that's how Scream got like that was like the making of Scream because they had this like who done it type thing, you know what I mean? And then
it was meta horror before Wes Craven technically invented meta horror. Like it's fucking fantastic. The Bon Appetit bitch is Dream Child, by the way, Marcus.
That was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite lines. Plus the "How's this for a wet dream?" That was also Dream Master, where he comes out the waterbed and kills that boy. He's like, "How's this for a wet dream?"
Mm-hmm.
And then the fucking remake in 2010, they ripped it off when she was running down the hallway and she fucking like went into like a puddle of shit, and it's like stole that fucking line. Like
I would not say ripped it off. See, when you're making a remake, you look at the Friday the 13th remake. They decided that Jason was the franchise character and they wanted to make Jason in the movie because they didn't think anyone would go out to see a movie about Pamela Voorhees. So they took the first 3 movies and fucked them into one movie. And for what they did, I think they did a great job. I look at anything. I mean, if you look at Halloween from 2018, there are homages to all of the films in the franchise. So many similarities and scenes that you can call back to Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 2. It's insane the stuff that they put in that movie, little teasers and Easter eggs and homages for the fans of the franchise.
Look, the masks in the last movie from Halloween 3, like that, like I know Danny McBride's part of this. Man, they really are. At least the first one. I'm not sure on the second one, but
so fun fact, and I don't know if you caught this, but we talked about this when I did the episode with my buddy Reek doing the Havoc Hour, and we were covering this. In the very first Halloween movie, when Michael breaks into the hardware store and Laurie and Annie are driving up and her dad stops them and they're like, "Oh, what happened?" He goes, "Oh, somebody stole some masks, some rope, and some knives, probably some kids." In the first movie, you see the mask, you see the knives, but you never see the rope until Halloween Kills. He has the rope in the house and he chokes that policeman out with the rope. He grabs it around his neck. That is the first time you see the rope from the original mention of that movie.
Oh, wow.
In that movie.
Okay.
So it's those little details that you find in those movies. For me, as a huge fan of the franchise, that I'm like, oh, that's fucking amazing.
They throw so, like, I gotta say, like, when this first came out, I was like, because again, I got into it a little bit later. You know what I mean? I was in college by the time I found all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
It was Rob Zombie that dragged me in, and then he disappointed me in the second one. I have not been disappointed yet. I
No.
know it was a reboot, and I own every single Halloween movie, but like this has been like fun.
Mhm.
It's been fun watching these.
So
You know,
on Freddy, of course, Robert Englund goes down as the GOAT of Freddy Krueger. But what did you think of Jackie Haley as Freddy Krueger?
I thought that movie got shit on more than it deserved.
Oh, he
I love
just
this guy.
basically.
I really love this guy.
Thank you.
You should invite him. You should invite him on Pornhub to talk on Smacking It Raw.
We can work
Yeah,
that
let me
out.
Let me know.
Here's the deal. That movie wasn't bad. The problem that everyone seemed to have with the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was, oh, that's not my Freddy Krueger. It doesn't look like him, blah, blah, blah. That movie was as dark as the first one was meant to be. They incorporated things that they had to take out of the first one to make it. So during the making of the original Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984, Freddy was supposed to be a child molester and murderer. But there was a lot of...
He's just a teen murder, yeah.
Well, no.
No,
Here's
but
the
they
thing.
pussyfooted it. That's another, like, they didn't want to go all in on that.
Okay.
In the original movie, they did not want him to be a child molester because of court cases and things that were going on in society at the time. They pulled back, and he was just a killer, but he was originally meant to be a creepy old man who molested and murdered children.
Yeah, that's what
They
he did in
pulled back
2010.
on the sexual aspect. They brought that back in the remake of the movie and really drove that home. If you actually sit down and watch that movie, and you can put on blinders to what you consider Robert Englund and everything he's done, the one-liners and all of the fun shit that the franchise is known and loved for, and just enjoy it as its own horror movie, it's actually pretty fucking good. Like,
the voice
It
is
is.
pretty good, where his voice is a little bit different, and the scene where you figure out how he became Freddy. Like, everybody shit on that movie, and I go, this wasn't like...
I didn't shit on it. It was just. It
No,
wasn't,
I'm not saying you or anything, but like
the majority of horror
of
fans.
people. And I was like, you didn't get exactly what you wanted, but isn't that the whole point of making a remake?
And at one point, they kind of took something from the 80s and made it into a different thing. Like when they show the girls jump roping when they sing the Freddy Krueger song. In the newer film, one of the girls, it's just basically one of the girls he's trying to go after. It was just a younger version of her she sees in her vision, in her dreams. Like she thinks it's just a random girl jump roping. No, that's her young version of her. That was what was creepy
it was
about the
all
movie.
it was all tied together. It was...
And she found the fucking dress in her attic with the freaking scratches of the razor fingers. And then he pops up and then she wakes up like, holy fuck.
And there is actual science behind the micro naps and the sleep deprivation and how that affects them, and leading up to them not being, like, him trying to keep them awake so that way they go into a coma that they cannot wake out of. Like, they did a great job with that movie. And I really don't know why it gets so much hate.
I agree with you. Like, I've watched it a couple times. What was everybody? Oh, it wasn't the exact same thing. Isn't that the point of a remake?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I never had an issue with that film at all. I know a lot of people rate the Friday the 13th remake. I've seen people rate it as number 1, which I wouldn't go that far.
No.
I did enjoy the second one the most, but yeah, I don't know. It's crazy how the rankings like happen on these movies.
The remake's actually pretty high for me, and again, people didn't like it because they showed you things that they felt like you weren't, like Jason's supposed to be this supernatural entity that transports himself around the camp and all that, whereas they gave you a reason as to how he could get places in the camp, that there was a series of underground tunnels and bells, so he knew where things were and where people were, so he could go there. Like, they gave you a cool reasoning for how all of the stuff that all these years you're like, well, how the fuck does he do that? How does he just appear there? And you're like, oh, I didn't want to know that. Why would you tell? Like, that's stupid. Why?
Oh, I want to know that.
Yeah, exactly.
That.
Exactly. Like, it's insane. And then again, probably arguably franchise wise, if not the best boobs, second best boobs remake in Juliana Gill.
Is that the one at the beginning?
No, she is the one in the bedroom with the boyfriend.
Okay.
The one whose tits are
jerk.
stupendous. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what did y'all think of Freddy versus Jason? That's one I've been always wanting to ask. Loved it, hate it, don't care.
I when I have done my ranking episodes of Jason and Fred, actually it was just in Jason because I've never done a ranking of Freddy. So if people want to do that, let me know because I do want to do that episode.
I might want to do a nostalgia on that fucking episode, like that movie.
So I have a full ranking episode of Halloween. I have a full ranking episode of Jason. I've never touched on Freddy. I would be down to do that. I've done reviews on the new Halloween movies. So we can chat. But I will say, Freddy versus Jason. It took a long time to get that out.
When I first saw the trailer, I thought that was fucking genius. I was dying to see it, and I fucking saw it, and I was fucking entertained. Like, people were fucking terrified. I thought this was comedy and action to me. Especially the fucking jokes that Robert Englund threw.
There was a little bit of both. There was, and you had Destiny's Child there, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly Rowland was she's a Chicago native, right? Or that's Michelle Williams. Which one's the Chicago native from Destiny's Child? Beyonce's from Houston. I thought it was Michelle Williams, but I thought Kelly.
Though I live in Chicago, I don't know every single famous person who's from here.
Justin, would you like to do a nostalgia on like horror movies like Freddy versus Jason?
I haven't watched enough horror movies to be able to do that kind of stuff.
That's why he's been so quiet.
I kind of want to do it, but then again, I don't want to
enjoy listening to everybody talk about it. Like, oh my god, this is.
I would love to do nostalgia.
Horror movies are a passion, especially the franchises.
I might make it a YouTube thing. I'm not going to put it on our Worldly podcast stream. I might just keep it as a YouTube thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't you put that on Worldly though?
The whole sleeve is Ghostface, Chucky.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see your tats. I'm getting
Pinhead.
more.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you're legit.
What's your other sleeve?
When it comes to Freddy vs. Jason, I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. I thought
we've got awesome. Freddy here. We've got the 2013 remake of Evil Dead with The Cabin.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I got just half.
Freddy and Jason and Michael are on the back of my arms, but
I got half a sleeve right here.
Well, I'll have to connect. I might have to do like a virtual episode of Let Freedom Ring.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
I think we could probably have a really good episode. So
I know you think Mark Night Wolf with tattoos. That's crazy, yeah. But I got half a sleeve right here, and I got some more all over me.
I got nothing. I got stupid.
I'm actually going. I'm actually going. I'm getting some more tats next weekend. I'm going next weekend to get something right here, and then birthday week I'm getting something right here and something right here.
To answer your two questions that you moved on before I could answer, though, I enjoy Freddy versus Jason for what it is. I hate that they decided to make Jason's fear of water a thing, seeing as he's in water for the majority of the franchise, just so like they had the opposing forces of fire and water, which that was kind of cheesy. Like I am very much big on the lore, and I wish they would stick to that, which a lot of franchises don't do. As far as Jason Takes Manhattan versus Jason X, I would probably say Jason Takes Manhattan is worse, just because Jason X was exactly what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be cheesy and corny and fun, and that's what the fuck it was. Like, it was never supposed to be a serious entry into the franchise. They sent him into fucking space. Like,
it was a little.
They froze him. He froze in time.
They knew that Freddy versus Jason was coming, and they gave you a little taste. They said, "Okay, we'll give you this," because you got to understand. Like, what was it? Freddy, not Freddy. Jason Goes to Hell. They dragged the mask.
Yeah,
and the studios couldn't get on the same page about making the movie. So that happened in '93. That movie doesn't come out till 2003.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So.
Fun fact: Jeff Katz. I just recently, because I've been rewatching. I told you guys WCW, so I just watched the first Sold Out, 1997. We're getting ready to do a recap on that next weekend. All the nitros leading up to and including Sold Out. Jeff Katz is in the wrestling business. He hosts the Miss NWO contest in 1997. He would go on from there to get involved in movie production. He is the person that pushed for Ryan Reynolds to be Deadpool and then took Ryan Reynolds over for the Deadpool movies when he went to Fox. He is involved in Freddy versus Jason and all of these, like the stuff that this man has done. He even like crowdfunded his own wrestling promotion that featured a shit ton of wrestlers. If you just Google Jeff Katz, the shit that he has been involved in is insane. But I know him, and I originally saw him on a couple documentaries like Never Sleep Again or Camp Crystal Lake Stories, where he's talking about his involvement in Freddy versus Jason and all of that stuff, which is really, really good. And they talk about how, like you said, one of the ideas, they couldn't get the studios together to decide on things, and they had all of these different drafts. One of the ideas was to have them both in hell at the end and Pinhead pull them apart, which I thought would have been really fucking cool to do. All of these different things. But in the end, the problem is it's kind of like New Japan and AEW. Nobody's going to want to let their top guys lose the fight. So that's the problem with Freddy versus Jason, is there's no definitive ending because Freddy can't lose and Jason can't lose. Now they're both owned by New Line Cinema, but it's still, you're going to piss off one fan base or the other. And horror movie fans are just as ridiculous and rabid of fans as wrestling fans are, or any sports fans. They love their favorites and they hate everything else.
Which is because Michael Myers can never go one-on-one with somebody. Because Halloween fans will lose their goddamn shit.
I would love to see Michael Myers versus Jason. That would be something cool.
But what? But, okay, all right. Now I want to open up the floodgates here. What Jason do you mean?
I don't know. I guess the one from Freddy versus
Zombie
Jason. That would be
Jason X.
legit.
Regular Jason?
The Jason we had in Freddy versus Jason, because it's like he was still standing and walking and nothing could stop him. But
that's zombie Jason.
If you're talking about the fight scenes, I mean, people are gonna love the actual fight scene where they just brutally like rip each other's body parts off and shit. I thought I enjoyed
this Jason. Michael Myers will kill him in 3 seconds. Okay?
Oh, I believe it. Okay. But if you're talking about the fight scenes with Freddy and Jason, I mean, yeah, their actual fight scene towards the end was awesome, where they were ripping off each other's arms and shit and whatnot, or stabbing each other. But I enjoy the fight scene in Jason's Dream more in the boiler room, where fucking Freddy's just dominating them, fucking ringed them like a pinball machine and fucking shit. And
so
the beginning of the fight when they're in the cabin and it's on fire, just that buildup of him walking in like that
with the
as
fire,
he's walking through the fire, yeah, and you just hear that shh, and I'm just
soundtrack for that is awesome too.
Yeah, that movie's got a kick-ass soundtrack.
Asshole! He said that, I laughed my ass off.
Here's the deal. Any version of Michael Myers you choose versus Jason, with the exception of Halloween H2O timeline Michael Myers, is defeating Jason. I have done actual debates with Friday the 13th fans, like huge Friday the 13th fans, and I have put them in the ground. The narrative that Jason cannot die is not true. Jason has died repeatedly in his own franchise. Can he be brought back to life like Frankenstein's monster? Absolutely. But before it was electrocuted, Frankenstein's monster was fucking dead. And for all intents and purposes, when Jason is buried in the ground and not functional, he is dead. Michael Myers has never died. Now, Halloween H2O Michael Myers is the most non-supernatural, straight-up human version of Michael Myers. And even there, he got electrocuted and still lived at the end of Resurrection in that timeline. But if you take Curse of the Thorn Michael Myers, or if you take this new Michael Myers, which is the embodiment of pure evil that cannot be killed and cannot be destroyed, you saw what a mob of people did, stabbing him, shooting him, kicking his ass, beating him with shit.
Can't do it.
He got up and slaughtered them. Jason can be killed. Michael cannot. It is fact.
At the end of the day, Michael Myers is the GOAT. Period.
The scene in Halloween Kills where like
Period.
towards the end where he's in the middle of the street and all those like natives that he's haunted over the years, and it's like 15-on-1. Like I thought it was it when that bitch stabbed them with the fucking rake. No, he fucking kills everybody, and he killed the dude with the baseball bat, and then the ending where he kills the daughter. Like, but
Here's
you saw
the goat. This is the goat right here.
Yeah, but you saw the deleted scene too. Like after he killed Lori's daughter, and she calls her daughter.
Well, we don't know if she's actually dead though.
Oh, she's
don't
dead.
know if she's actually dead.
I think she's dead. But in the deleted scene, she calls. Matt left again. She calls the phone, and she knows something happened. I guess she assumes she died because she can hear Michael breathing in the background. And she's like, "I'm coming for you, Michael." And that's the scene where she's walking through the goddamn hospital or the fucking loony bin with the fucking blade in her hand. The psych ward that they always showed in the television series. But yeah. That scene was
when it comes to Michael Myers, if he wasn't like invincible like he was, it'd be a whole different conversation.
I'm sorry. I know y'all had some more to say, but
Matt, no, I was gonna say what's crazy is we're only 3 months away from this movie.
I'm waiting for the trailer to come out because last year it was around this time they revealed the trailer for Halloween Kills, and I am dying to see the fucking trailer for Halloween Ends and how it looks.
I was gonna say, my brother is the friggin' person to talk to if you want to talk horror movies.
Get Jeremy on here.
Sure, throw it in the damn chat and tell him to get the hell in here. He's the person to talk horror movies. He's literally gone through every freaking franchise almost.
Okay.
Just sitting down.
What are you pissed? Jesus Christ, Marcus!
I thought you
had me on here for like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Sorry.
I drank this entire glass of water.
I love. What do you think of John Carpenter's fucking piano keys on the Halloween theme song? Man, that was fucking good. It don't creep me out. I can wake up to that at 5 o'clock in the morning and not be terrified.
The one during Halloween Kills was freaking awesome. That with the opera, like the operatic voices in there with it, that was fucking great.
Yeah, but John Carpenter's piano melody was fucking awesome. Like I watched that. What's that shit on Netflix? The movies that made us. Like that series, and they did one on horror films, and they did it on Halloween, and I love the little interview with John Carpenter. Yeah,
they did a lot. They did Back to the Future too.
They did Back to the Future. They did Jurassic Park. They did Elf, Coming to America. There was like 3 seasons of the movies that made us. I'm surprised they never did one on Star Wars yet.
Back to the Future blew my mind. I'm like, oh, Michael J. Fox was in the first pick.
Yeah, guy. Michael fucking J. Fox. Like, yeah.
I'm like,
hey Dan, what are you on Twitter?
I don't really use Twitter, but I'm Recree Wrestling, but I don't really use it. You can hit me up on Facebook, or Facebook's the easiest way to get to me.
I'm just sending you a link, so if you open it up, you'll get the link to this YouTube video.
Figure if I can use this. I think it's Recree. Did it say like Dan Venus on it? That was like my alter ego there.
I was trying to get Clark Street to come on. He never responded. Ryan said he had to go to bed.
Ryan's a little bitch.
Ryan said he had to go to bed. Oh my god!
I guess he got to work tomorrow. He usually says when he works, he's got to get up like it gets up early.
No work for me tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
I'm off till Tuesday.
Same.
I've been off since yesterday. I was off yesterday, and then I'm off till Tuesday because
I had this whole week off, and I'm just waiting to hear from anybody.
Where do you work? Where do you work at, Justin?
I work for a bus company. I like school bus monitor for like special needs kids.
Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah! Dan, what you do? I know you play a lot of softball over the weekends, especially in Maine. I see y'all team kicks that. Well, I saw y'all team. You had NWO jerseys. That was fucking badass.
That's one of my team. I play a lot of softball. Pretty much dictates my life. So.
Shit, I would love to fly you down here to come play in our alumni tournament. I can use someone that can hit dingers on our team.
I used to. I mean, you're gonna get me to get a slap hit. You're gonna get me singles and doubles. I mean, at 37, I've tore my rotator cuff. I blew up my ankle. I still ball out, you know, but like not like I did in my 20s. That's for sure. But Yeah, no, softball
Well,
pretty much dictates my life.
I know we're basically talking about horror movies now, but they just received breaking news that the plan for John Cena versus Theory at SummerSlam had been delayed.
Mm.
Hold on, Matt, I got you.
Well, I'll just tell you. So what I sent you, I recently did a show with Botch Spots and Chair Shots, and what we did was we talked a little bit of wrestling, but then we compared horror movie characters to their wrestling counterparts.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be an interesting watch for you that you might enjoy.
No, I'll check it out. I mean, we should probably connect on I know obviously you live in Chicago. I live in New Hampshire. I do virtual, like, because most of my show is in person. It's public access, but yeah, we could do something. I should probably have Marcus on the show too.
Yeah, I'd love to come on and talk whatever. Yeah,
my show is about everything. There's no like. Everybody thinks it's called Let Free Marine. They assume it's a political show. I go, well, no, that's not actually true. I feel like America is a lot of things. So it's not really just a political show. It's getting to know you as who you are. And we talk about all kinds of stuff. If someone wants to come on and talk politics, I have no problem with it. But that's not really what the whole point of the show. The one question that anybody gets, I just say, because I do 3 questions to start the show. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? 3 things everybody should know about you. What does it mean to you to be an American? And that third one, like, I get a lot of different answers, depending who the guest is. I did get a lot of crap recently. Said that not crap, but like. People were saying that I don't have enough female guests, and I said it's not a lack of trying. I've had female guests on my show. It's not a lack of me not trying to get female guests, and we're gonna have a lot coming up because I worked harder after. I don't like being called out. You know what I mean? Like it was. I do try. I've had gay guests. I've had transgender guests. I've had anything that you can imagine.
same here.
People, and I was just like, wow, that was kind of rude. And I messaged the person. I said, you want to come on my show? They're like, love to. Next day they go, can't do it. I go, oh, now you know what I go through. Like, don't it's easier to criticize people if you're not doing it, and that, it is what it is. But
oh, trust me, I know how hard it is to get female guests on a show that debuts on Pornhub every week. So
yeah. No, it is what it is. You try, you do the best that you can, and not everybody's gonna always be happy with it. That's all it is to it. So
I'd definitely be down to talk horror movies. I'm always down to talk horror movies. But yeah, no, that video I think you'd find pretty interesting. It's a mix of my 2 favorite things in horror and wrestling, and
yeah. How long is it?
A little over an hour, I think.
Yeah, no, I'll throw that on. I love that type of stuff.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, if it's horror movies, I'll be into that for sure. Like I said, I didn't really get into horror till I was a little bit older, and now it's like one of my favorite things.
So it's weird that I'm a horror movie fan because my mom really liked the early slashers and stuff like that, and she would have me watch them, and my little sister watched them when we were like really young because they scared us, and she thought it was funny and like all of that. So I watched a lot of shit very young, like all of the Friday 13th, most of the Halloweens, like 1 through 6, Nightmare on Elm Street, Poltergeist, all of that stuff, all that early stuff that my mom loved, especially around Halloween. We'd watch them. It would scare the living shit out of me. She enjoyed that. She hates when I tell these stories, but she loved scaring us as kids. The thing that scared me the most out of everything was Stephen King's It, for the miniseries from 1990.
Oh, you're talking about what's his name? The one who played the fucking hotel manager in Home Alone 2?
Tim Curry, yes. Tim Curry.
Way more scarier than the remake.
Yes, but the remake is way more true to the book.
Yeah, but the remake scared the fuck out of me, and I'm a grown man, and I refuse to watch that. But I'll watch the one from.
So you guys,
I traumatized my brother with.
I will say the sad thing is I have it on my phone. I don't like to read. Okay, be honest.
I'll read wrestling books. That's about it. And the newspaper.
I desperately want to read this book because I'm into it. I love the whole story. So I bought the book, and I tried to read. I go, oh Jesus, Dan, you just don't you can't do it. It's not that I can't read. I can't focus long enough to do it.
I could focus on a horror book and not even be terrified. I'm just like, this is interesting.
Well, so I bought the audio
TV footage. Yeah. Oh, the audio book would probably be more interesting for me.
So I bought the audio book. At the height of the pandemic, I go, well, I'm not leaving here for a little bit. Let's order a book.
So wait, the audio books, do they actually have like horror music in the background, or he just
No, like I can have. So I haven't got through it. It's been 2 years. I have it on my phone. I can listen to this whole thing through. I just never have gotten through it. And
so I'm a lot like you. I'm a lot like you. I am not a huge fan of reading books. Like it really has to interest me. I bought the physical copy of it. It took me 2 or 3 tries, I want to say, because I originally bought it on my phone to read, and then I actually bought the physical book. The second or third time I really sat down, I got all the way through it. And it was really fucking good.
Really?
There's a whole lot more in there than you get from either of the movies, but the new movies, being the 2-parter that it is, a lot more true to the book. They still left a lot of shit out, which if you ever get there, you won't be surprised. Like the gangbang scene for the children that they left out. Yeah. Like that's gonna. Yeah. But what my mom did was my grandparents had a cottage in Indiana, and they had built an addition onto it that was kind of like the family room that we would all sit in and watch movies. But the bathroom was at the back of the house, so the vent for the bathroom that was supposed to let the steam outside was just a vent into that back room. So I was taking a shower. I was probably 10. We had just finished watching it, and my mom climbed up to that vent and started whispering, "It all floats down here," into the bathroom as I'm taking a shower. I didn't literally shit myself, but I lost my shit. Jumped out of the shower, grabbed a towel, ran out of the bathroom screaming, my entire family laughing their ass off. So the fact that I am now as big of a horror movie fan as I am after all of that shit, like she had a stuffed clown that she put in my bedroom in a rocking chair in an old house that we lived in that had a draft. So at night, the rocking chair would rock and the bells on its fucking toes would jingle. And I'd take it, I'd throw it in the closet. And the next day, she'd come in and put it back in the chair. And I'd come home and he'd be in the fucking chair. Like, she gave me a lot of shit. But, yeah.
What's a horror movie fixing to come out that y'all want to see right now?
The ending of Halloween, really.
Halloween ends, yeah.
Jordan Peele has another movie coming out, and he's knocked out of the park twice. I don't know.
Black Phone looks good.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see that. Me, Dylan, and Jordan are supposed to be going together, but they haven't made arrangements yet because I don't like to go see horror movies by myself because it makes me look like a loser.
I guess I don't care. I'm 37 years old. I don't give a shit. I go to the movies by myself any day. I don't.
Oh, me too, but not horror movies. To me, that's like you go with a girl. I'd rather go with a girl, or I'll go with friends. I just can't sit through a horror movie alone. I can sit through other shit alone, but
I could sit through any movie alone. I really don't care.
I went saw Elvis by myself, but I didn't feel like a loser because that place.
I sat through Paranormal Activity 2, and I was literally the only person in the theater. Literally the only one.
Black Phone, but I love Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke's a fucking cool actor.
I saw W, the George Bush movie in 2008. I was only like 23 by myself. No, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people have an issue about going to the movie theater by themselves.
Yeah, fuck those people. I do it all the time.
I don't have a problem with that. I'll go to a wrestling show by myself. I don't care.
You'll go see any movie but a horror movie by yourself. That is where Marcus draws the line. Is like, I can go watch a Marvel movie, an action movie, a romantic comedy.
What's
it doesn't
the
matter by myself. But horror movies, I need a buddy.
I don't know. That's just me. Like, some people have their boundaries. Like I'll go see anything by myself except horror movies. I gotta have someone with me. And then, like, I'm not a big romantic person. I don't like to go watch romantic movies. Now, if I have a girlfriend and she wants to see that, then I'll go see it.
You look like The Notebook is your favorite movie.
Yeah, I don't even remember shit from that movie. I probably may have watched it, but I don't remember shit from it.
I mean, I'm a single guy. I've had a lot of like different girlfriends over the year, but like I truly like am independent into what I want to do. If I want to do something, I'm going. You don't want to come?
That's how I am. Like
You don't
I
have to
don't,
come.
I don't fucking care. Like I can make my. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. I don't need nobody to come with me. People like, why do you go to sports games or go to movies all by yourself or even wrestle shows by yourself? Because I can do what the fuck I want to do.
Oh, I could care less. It depends, like
I have more fun going alone, and I make friends, and then I'm like, oh, I'm here with a friend now. I just made a friend. We're talking about shit. I do that all the time.
In a horror movie
because they're more terrified, or they're snuggling with their loved ones, like, oh. And I'm just sitting here like, like Quee Wee.
Yeah, I'm so when I went to the Halloween movies, I was like, what's happening here? Like I remember I got out of work and I went to Chunky's, right? And I Googled the wrong time. So I had the Manchester time, not the Nashua time. And I went, oh my God. So I show up, I'm like, hey, I'd like to buy a ticket. They go, well, the movie already started. I go, what? And then I pull up my phone and I go, oh shit, I'm in the wrong place. I bombed it to Merrimack and made it with like 50. Like I just wanted to see the movie so bad. And we could have watched it on Peacock, the new Halloween, but I wasn't going to do that. I had to see it in the theater. You know what I mean? Like,
I saw the remake. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't born for half of the fucking Halloween movies that came out, and then like the ones like the Halloween H2O and Resurrections. We've rented them from Blockbuster and watched it, but the remake.
Wait, you still have a Blockbuster?
Huh?
You still have a Blockbuster?
No, I'm talking about my younger days.
Okay.
Like Halloween came out 78, the first Halloween film, and then like
78.
most of them were throughout the 80s. I wasn't born till 89, and then whatever else I saw from Halloween, like Halloween H2O or Resurrection, I would just rent it from I'd rent them from Blockbuster back in the day. Now it's like the remake from 2018. We saw it in theaters, and then Halloween Kills. We saw Halloween Kills opening night.
sequel
It was packed.
Yeah, no, I told my wife that when Halloween Ends comes out, if she cannot find a babysitter for our 2-year-old, I'm going to go see it without her. So I'm like, you have.
I saw your little baby picture. I saw your little baby picture on Father's Day where you're like holding your kid up in the air with a Smacking It Raw shirt on.
Well, you got time. You have more than enough time, right?
That's your only kid, right? You only have one kid.
Yeah,
right?
I just have the one daughter. Yeah.
You gonna turn her into a horror? You gonna turn her into a horror flick as well?
If I can. I mean, she's gonna like what she likes. She's not gonna like what she doesn't like, and she's probably gonna start off like I did, fucking terrified of the shit. So,
I did not get, like I said, I didn't get into horror till I was in college, and then when I really understood what Halloween was, I was like, I love this.
What's crazy for me is like any other like horror film, like I could sit through it with nothing. Like in my younger days, I sat through Nightmare on Elm Street, sat through Halloween, sat through Friday the 13th, sat through fucking Chucky, all that shit, Jeepers Creepers, but I could not sit through The Ring as a 14-year-old. That scared the fucking shit out of me. That bitch, when she came out the fucking well into the TV and killed that motherfucker, I said, fuck this shit. I upgraded to a DVD player. I was so fucking terrified.
I agree. You know what? The only thing we were a Sopranos family. We loved the Sopranos. All my dad introduced me to was mafia movies and baseball movies, and that was
my favorite mafia is Scarface.
That was like
hands down Scarface.
I do love Scarface. I own that. My dad introduced me to The Godfather and Goodfellas and Casino.
Goodfellas, yeah, Goodfellas is my shit.
Goodfellas is my all-time favorite movie, bar none.
I'm gonna change the subject. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all are Batman fans, right?
Yes, I need to see the new one though. I do need.
You never saw it? It's all right. It was
It's 3 hours long, which is what.
Yeah, that was the only gibble. It was too fucking long. So was The Dark Knight, but this year was the 30-year anniversary. Dark Knight was fucking long,
but it wasn't too long.
No, it wasn't too long. This one was kind of like when I went and saw Elvis, because I sat through 20 minutes of fucking previews, and then I sat through a 2.5-3 hour movie. Like I went saw the movie at 9 o'clock at night. It was after midnight when we got out the theater, and I didn't get home till almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
I am going to disagree on The Dark Knight was too long. I thought it was perfect, especially with the acting.
I mean, it was a 2.5-hour
From
film, but you're talking about the
he's-
10 previews they showed in theaters before, and the whole
Sure, but Dark Knight is like
Dark Knight was fucking great, but I'm more Batman 89 over Dark Knight. But this year's the 30-year anniversary of Batman Returns. I'm pretty sure y'all were fucking ecstatic when that came out in theaters.
yes, I love all those movies, but I don't think anything surpasses. Yeah, I love Michael Keaton, amazing.
And he wasn't supposed to be Batman. They were trying to get. I remember they were trying to get like fucking Tom Cruise or Leonardo DiCaprio or and shit to play.
But nothing. I could be wrong. You guys can disagree with me. Nothing surpasses The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger.
He was a great Joker, but Jack Nicholson was always my GOAT Joker.
Yes, he was until Heath surpassed him.
Heath was more like the comic book Joker. He was more violent. Jack Nicholson was more of comedic, like Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill has the greatest Joker voice of all time.
I have heard that.
And Kevin Conroy is the best Batman voice of all time.
100.
Now, Catwoman, I'm giving that to Michelle Pfeiffer all the way.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Danny DeVito was a better Penguin than God damn it, Colin Farrell. No, not Colin Farrell.
No, you're right. It's Colin Farrell.
And Riddler, of course. I mean, Jim Carrey. I mean, they got Paul Dano, who was the fucking nerd from The Girl Next Door that touched Luther Rain's girl's titty for the first time at that convention. They got him to play the Riddler, but he was that fucking violent murderer Riddler. Like they imitated a fucking actual serial killer from the 70s, but Jim Carrey just was more like cartoonish.
I enjoyed that. I enjoy all of them. I just
now Two-Face. Who do you give the Harvey Dent to? Aaron Eckhart or Tommy Lee Jones?
I mean, you should probably let him finish answering
I'm
the first
sorry.
question
I know
before you
this
keep
is the
jumping
fear.
around.
I'm sorry.
all right. I got to end on this because I actually have to run a softball game in the morning. it's getting close to that time. Eckhart, because there was a build up, and I do love Batman Forever, and I always will. There was no build to any of that. It was just like he's Two-Face. That's it.
Remember when they wanted to try and get Billy D. Williams to be Two-Face? I mean, he did play Harvey Dent in Batman 89, but the political Harvey Dent, not the half burnt face and shit.
I would just say overall, Dark Knight is, in my opinion, I don't know anybody else, but this is going to be my last thing because if I don't get to bed and I don't run this tomorrow, I'm going to have a lot of pissed off people at me. Dark Knight is, to my opinion, the best Batman movie. I don't know if anybody disagrees or agrees. I'd like to have you all on Let Freedom Ring. We can talk about it, but
I'll bring y'all on my YouTube channel. I would like to cover Batman 89 also.
Yeah, I'm down. We'll all chat. I mean, I can do stream stuff too. So, but I'll let you guys get to it. If I don't get to bed though, and I don't show up tomorrow, my phone it's just not gonna be good for me. But
all right, man, take it easy, man.
Right.
You're always welcome to come back. Take it easy, man.
All right. Well, I'll talk soon.
All righty. So we're gonna continue this, or y'all want to call it a night?
I'm about ready to bounce. I will say, I don't like the cartoony version. Like, I enjoy the stuff that Batman 89 and Batman Returns did, but beyond that, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were fucking trash.
You
Jim
thought
Carrey
Batman
as the
Forever?
Riddler. Yes.
Wow.
It was fucking trash. They had a grown man playing Robin.
Chris O'Donnell, yeah, he was about in his late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, playing Robin. You have I didn't go watch a live action Batman movie to watch cartoon characters, and that's what Jim Carrey and fucking Tommy Lee Jones they were overplayed cartoon characters.
Now, what about
prefer as he said, the Dark Knight and that more gritty, realistic feel to those movies.
It's basically Christian Bale. You thought was probably your favorite Batman of all time. Then
No, Michael Keaton's probably my favorite Batman of all time.
Okay.
But Dark Knight's my favorite movie out of the whole fucking deal.
Out of the trilogy, I always thought Batman
out of the entire franchise.
Oh, the
Dark
entire
Knight is my favorite.
franchise.
Yes.
In the Dark Knight trilogy, I will say Dark Knight. Yeah, Batman Begins kind of started slow, but then it got more interesting. Dark Knight Rises was just overrated. I thought it was highly overrated. Batman vs Superman, I wasn't too shabby with it. I mean, just the fact that Ben Affleck playing Batman just didn't sound right. More like George Clooney. But George Clooney, they did just because he was the most handsome motherfucker in the 90s at the time. They want to put him in bat nipples like Iceman. But I don't know. Val Kilmer was as Batman didn't sound catchy, but I mean, they said it was the greatest Batman ever made. I mean, I'm not going to argue with it, but I will always say Batman 89 was the best Batman they ever made. It was so dark. It was in the 80s and shit. But I mean, yeah, you're going to argue with that and The Dark Knight as the two best of all time, especially when you're arguing over Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson. But I will say, if you want to talk about the shittiest Joker ever, some fucking Jared Leto was the fucking worst Joker ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from Louisiana, and I'm ashamed that he's from my home state.
They redeemed him a little bit in the Justice League Snyder cut, but no, he was trash.
Now, supposedly that Flash movie coming out where they're having Michael Keaton as a cameo, I'm actually dying to see that. Even though he's going to look a little old. They might pull what they did with Hayden Christensen and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Maybe.
That'd be another thing I would like to cover, but that's if y'all fucking Star Wars freaks. I'd fucking do a stream on Star Wars, just picking up. No, not the new trilogy. Fuck the new trilogy. I'm talking about original 3 or even the prequels. I'll do a talk on that shit too. Ryan would fucking top in on that too because he's a big Star Wars guy, but he won't do prequels and he won't do the new films. He'll either do the original 3.
Yeah. I am also going to bounce, though, so I can get some sleep, get up and play with the kid in the morning. I also feel bad that poor Justin just had to sit here the entire time. He's so quiet.
I mean, enjoyed listening to y'all talk about
it. But what do you have any takes on Batman? Like, what was your...
I haven't ever fucking barely even seen any of the Batman movies. I don't...
Justin doesn't watch movies.
I don't
really
watch his wrestling.
What all do you watch?
Anything half the time.
You just watch wrestling and that's it.
That's really it. And that's other than that, a lot. You want to know the truth, or you want me to just not say it?
All right, fellas.
You're the only one that got my Sarah J joke, so I know what you've been watching.
Hey, she was one of my favorites. She's one of my faves.
But yeah, guys, I'm out. It's been fun. Thanks for having me on to kind of sort of talk about Money in the Bank and a bunch of other shit.
It was just a conversation of whatever tonight.
Yeah.
Again.
No, it was all good shit.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to potentially do nostalgias on films, but I don't want to take something from other shows. That's why I might just keep it as a YouTube thing and not post it on World Elite because we're trying to keep that just on as a wrestling. That's why we do the football shit on YouTube now.
Yeah.
So you're gonna save that for a World Elite thing on like YouTube?
Yeah, because I don't want to like. I feel like if I do the talking Batman films on World Elite, I'm technically doing some of the shit Front Facelock's doing with their films, like they did on fucking Friday the 13th. They did Mighty Ducks in their Free Floating Hostility, which I thought that was funny as fuck. I don't want to go down that path. I'm gonna just keep that on YouTube. I'll keep World Elite straight on wrestling.
That's a good idea. But all right, guys. Good night. It was fun.
All right,
talk to you,
Matt. I'll holler at you later. I'm about to bounce too. I guess I'll let you go.
Alrighty, brother.
This was fun. I mean, I hope I didn't bore your ass.
Nah, man. Like I said, I enjoyed listening to you guys just chat away.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk Dylan and all that because Dylan and them love horror movies too. But just hopping on, just doing nostalgia on a fucking horror film and run it down and our thoughts about it. But
I wish I delve into enough movies to like be able to like join in that kind of conversation, but I fucking miss out.
I watched a lot of fucking movies all my life. Like I was a lazy fucking person when I was a kid. Like, if I went outside playing in the yard and shit, I was either playing video games or I was watching a lot of movies. And I'm still do that to this day. When I'm on my days off or I'm not at work, I'm fucking. If I'm not on here most of the time, I'm fucking sitting in that recliner right by my couch, playing my Xbox or watching TV, or I'm laying in my bed watching TV or playing my Switch.
Sounds like my brother, easily.
Like literally, like man, this chair and that chair is all I sit in. I don't even sit in my little diner room, my fucking kitchen table right here. I don't even sit on that couch. I just have that if I have people that just pass out and drunk sleeping. I go to these two chairs. I go to my bed and that's it, or that fucking toilet.
Where the fuck's the TV even at?
You can't see it. The TV's right there.
It's behind your head.
It's a fucking.
Oh, there it is.
It's a 42-inch Vizio.
I thought you were gonna tell me it's a Roku. I was about to say.
Oh fuck no.
I was gonna say you rock that Roku, damn it.
No, that's a Vizio. No, my first HD TV. It's funny. I bought my first HD television 14 years ago, and I still fucking have it. It's in my bedroom, mounted on the wall.
Holy shit!
It's a Sony. That's a Vizio.
Damn.
I rather Vizio. My brother's a Vizio guy. He's been telling me to upgrade to Vizio, so I bought that. I bought that last year.
Oh shit! Okay. Shit.
I'm still on my Xbox One though. Like, I'll get the Series X, but it's too fucking much.
Get the other one then. It's only 300 compared to the other one being like
Well,
almost 6.
Well, I have the one. That's what I have. I still have my Xbox One. I bought it 8 years ago. That's what I still use. Like Dylan and them upgraded to Series X, but when they first came out,
they have the new Series X. They have the one that's like $500-$600, but they have another one that's like supposedly runs better and it's smaller and it's only like 300.
Oh, really? Because last time I kept looking, they were like $599.
That's just the one. They have another one that's like reasonably cheaper and it's actually like
the only way I will upgrade to a Series X is if that they completely shut shit off for one. Like I can't use it to download shit or play this or that anymore. You know, so I still don't have WWE 2K22. I still don't have it. I'm scared to buy it because when I bought 2K20, that's when shit hit the fan.
Jesus.
I'm scared to play it. Dylan has it. Dylan bought the deluxe edition with Rey Mysterio on the cover. He said it's fucking great. I got
my brother the NWO edition.
That's the one I wanted to get, but I didn't want to pay $120 fucking for all that shit.
I said fucking it.
The roster is just as big as AEW's roster, and I ain't gonna play with all those fucking characters.
I mean, they got all the DLCs coming out now, so
that's all I really mean to get is the DLCs, the arenas and shit. Like now you can play in the NXT 2.0 arena, and you can play with some NXT.
They added that themselves. They had just added that off an update.
If they're adding all this shit, then they need to hop another year over and just do 2K24. Like of everything you're putting in 2K22, you shouldn't even have to make a 2K23.
I mean, they're probably going to come out with 23 by then. So
yeah, but remember when they used to come out around the fall, and then after the year hiatus, they dropped 2K22 WrestleMania season.
Yeah,
I played it, but I hate how the new controls are. I didn't tell you this story, but when I went to WrestleMania Access, or the Superstore, I should say, it was basically Access because there was fucking everything in there. Well, I always like to play in the 2K tournament, or if it was SmackDown versus Raw or whatever they had. I entered in the 2K22 tournament like I do every year, and plus I wanted to eat all the fucking free mini Snickers and get the free posters. I only took the deluxe edition poster in the NWO when I got them taped right here on my gun cabinet.
Shit.
But
I was like, play 22. You'll like it.
Oh, I've played it, but this is what pissed me off. I entered the tournament. I played the first round. I won, but I hated how some of the controls changed. I usually don't get knocked out that early in the tournament. I lost to a fucking 12-year-old. 12-year-old kicked my fucking ass on the Xbox Series X. which is basically the same controls as Xbox One.
What game was it? This was 22, 2K22.
Yeah, this was in the Superstore. This was the day of WrestleMania Night 2. I'm playing this fucking 12-year-old, and I love, and he's a great fucking liar. Like, he comes, like, and there's 8 stations set up. Like, the convention center was so big, they had 8 flat screen TVs set up, each with a Series X, not a PS5, with leather couches, coffee tables full of mini Snickers, and the posters you can take for free. If you're lucky, you might get 4 people behind you watching you and shit. Like, I'm sitting on that couch like I'm at my own fucking house. I got my feet cocked up on that fucking coffee table like this, playing like I'm at my house. And here comes this fucking little 12-year-old. Looks like he's shy. Like he didn't want to come sit next to me, which all they had was one leather couch, like a big ass one. Like they took from a sectional. Like, oh, shit. I even did the social distance shit. Like I moved all the way to the armrest. I'm like, here, sit down. You need some room. I'll social distance away from you. Well, he starts. This motherfucker is talking to me, like he knows me. And he's like, he's talking like in that Michael Jackson voice. Have you ever played this before? And I'm like, no, this is actually my first time because I told the story about 2K20, like after how bad, and I'm talking to him like a grown man, and I ain't supposed to be talking to a fucking kid like this, like after how fucking bad 2K20 was, and I'm talking like this while I'm getting
2K20 had so many good things in it, but it ran like shit. It just ran like shit, and that was the only
exactly. The soundtrack was fucking fantastic, but
all the stuff they added in there was so good. Like you had all those awesome looking arenas and shit like that, and like. Honestly, the freaking My Career stuff wasn't the worst, but it was like they just fucking didn't take the time to test it and make sure it ran good.
Another thing I love so much about 2K, I'll go shit on is DLC. I love to download other people's superstars they created. Like I like to download. Mm-hmm. If I want to go in AEW mode, I'll go and find the best looking superstars from AEW they created, their arenas, and download them all and do my own series of shit there. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm playing. He's like, have you ever played this before? And I was like, no, I haven't played it since that fucking piece of shit 2K20. And I'm saying that to a fucking 12-year-old.
Oh my God.
And I was like, is this your first time? He's like, yeah, I have a PS5. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm clicking on I'm about to click on Roman Reigns, and then he kind of stuttered, and like he wanted to be Roman Reigns. I was like, oh, you wanted to be Roman Reigns? And he was like he sounded like he was terrified. He was like, no, I'll pick somebody else. I'm like, bro, if you fucking want Roman Reigns, I'm talking to the kid like that, like, bro, you fucking want Roman Reigns, you can have him. I was on that fucking that C4 energy drink.
Oh wow.
And I've learned a lesson from that. Okay, when I was at the Access, everything was a lot of shit. Like, if you ever been to Access before, back in the day when they did the Undertaker graveyard for his undefeated streak, the little displays of like Cricket Wireless and all that shit was free. Like, you could just go take a picture by a pop-up of Roman Reigns with C4. That they fucking charged you for that shit.
Hell, they charge you.
Oh God, you really want to know? Which I didn't go pay for that. So when I went every year when I went to Access, I went to the Undertaker's graveyard every year. It was included. It was free. But that day, you had to pay $35 to go into the fucking graveyard.
Oh, that's a pain in the asshole.
Oh, wait, it gets even better. So also, when I was reading this shit online, it said also included at the Superstore and Access, Alexa's Playground,
okay,
Miz TV. Now, usually when they say shit like that, they like Miz TV, they'll have the chairs that they use in the ring. They'll have a fucking backboard of like Miz TV and all that.
Yeah.
Now, this is what they fucked up, and I almost wanted to sue them for false advertising. But they had a display for the Kevin Owens show that they never had before. They had a display for Alexa's Playground, and it said Alexa's Playground featuring Alexa Bliss. And I'm like, oh, fuck, she's doing a meet and greet in her playground. That's fucking cool as shit. I get over there, they have the backdrop of like the field or whatever she had.
Yeah.
Kind of like They have the swing. They have two swings. They have the swing she sits on. You can sit on that swing. No Alexa Bliss. It's a fucking cutout of Alexa Bliss with a cutout of fucking little. $40. You can take a picture with a cutout of Alexa Bliss.
First off, $35 for a fucking to stand next to a cutout is ridiculous. But then you like double it up, and you was like make it higher. Like fuck that.
All right, so back to the fucking. I think I said it right. C4 energy, like the bot, like the fucking dynamite C4.
Yeah.
Now I saw a display of C4, and then it clicked in my head. I remembered Roman Reigns did commercials for C4. This was what, like in 2019, he did that shit.
Did he really? Because I don't even remember that ever.
It was either in 20. It was around the time he had leukemia, so it was either 2018 or 2019.
Oh, okay, so
because while he was away with leukemia, he did film Hobbs and Shaw, and he did some advertising for C4. Now, I don't usually drink energy drinks because supposedly it's not fucking good for you. I mean, I'll occasionally drink a Monster, and as much as I love Sammy Guevara, I drink Bang sometimes. I haven't tried G. I never tried G Fuel yet. I'd like to because they sponsor the vlog. But
G Fuel's not bad.
Really? They don't sell it down here. I'd have to order it online.
It's just powder stuff though.
Oh, it's powder shit, so it's kind of like Rogue Energy.
I mean, they have powder stuff, but they also have like cans of it.
Yeah, he always advertises the cans, like the cans you can buy in the store. So they do like Rogue Energy that still sponsors us, but we never advertise about them anymore. But yeah, they have their own powder shit too. So they have the display of G4 that you could go stand in next to a fucking cutout Roman Reigns, take a picture. That's probably the cheapest they had right there. It was like $15. But they had these like stations. Like, you know, those like, you ever see like at like ball games or ballparks, they have those like giant these giant tubs with the clear lids that they would fill up with drinks on ice.
Yeah.
Well, they had those around the fucking Superstore, and they had like 4 set up in front of the C4 station, and they were filled with C4, and they had C4 representatives there. They were like, "Hey, you like C4? Would you like a C4?" And I'm like, "No, thank you." And they were like, "It's free." That's the first thing I heard that was there that was free besides the mini Snickers. And then I'm kind of concerned because, you know, I've always told energy drinks are bad for you and whatnot. I asked them, I said, educate me. Tell me something about C4. And then they're reading the fucking diagrams on the back of the can, like how much sugar. Some are sugar free. They got this amount of sugar, this amount of. I said, well, I said, there was like 4 different flavors. I said, tell me which one is the strongest one you got, and tell me which is the lightest one you got. And they're showing me these ones. I said, give me the lightest one you have. I said, I'm trying not to fucking run through a brick wall. I just need something just to keep me awake because I'm still kind of tired, but I'm going to WrestleMania Night 2 in 6 hours. I'm going bullshit around Dallas. I just something to keep me up. He gives me the lightest one, the lightest caffeine, the lightest energy. He said, you just want to stay awake, take this one. I said, okay. Now I'm drinking it slowly. I'm not chugging it. I took a baby sip. I'm like, oh, this is good. So, you know, I drink a little sip. About 10 minutes later, I take another sip. Dylan, I'm FaceTiming Dylan and Jordan because, you know, they want to see what the Superstore looks like, especially after the pandemic. And then they were like, Dylan PayPal'd me or Venmo'd me a shitload of money. He's like, oh, can you buy me this? Can you buy us this? I'm like, yeah, Venmo to me. So I'm showing them all this shit. Like I'm fucking FaceTiming them, showing them everything, letting them pick out what they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know where. So I'm holding my phone like this. I'm showing them around. Then all of a sudden, while I'm talking, I'm like this.
Oh shit!
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, dude, I just hit a fucking C4. I hit the lightest one, God. And I am fucking tripping balls. And at one point, I fucking rubbed my eyes like this. My face started burning. Like it burned pain. Like when I fucking scratched my eye, I thought I scratched my eye out. I felt a burn, like an itch burn.
Oh God!
But I did something that I always do. I fucking hit that C4 on an empty stomach.
Ah, there you go. What
And
the hell flavor did you even have?
I don't even fucking remember. It was like an ice flavor or some shit. I don't even know what they all have.
I've literally only tried it once, and it was freaking strawberry freaking Starburst flavored.
Oh, I do see that can. Oh, the color on the top was like a light baby blue.
Oh God, I don't remember which one that was.
I think it was frozen. No, it wasn't frozen bombsicle. No, I think that was the strongest one.
Might have been like some kind of. I think it's some kind of cotton candy or something like that. But I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Well, I'm seeing flavors now that I didn't even see over there. Like they have an orange slice, they have strawberry watermelon on ice, twisted limeade. I didn't see
Yeah.
those. I saw the frozen bombsicle, but it
The
definitely
store
didn't.
in town by me has a bunch of them, and I was tempted to try the other flavors, but the only one I ever tried was that strawberry Starburst one.
I think it might. No, it wasn't icy blue raz. I don't fucking remember what it was.
That sounds bonkers.
It was
But I'm
like
the same way. I'm the same way with freaking energy drinks. I get all jittery and shit now.
well, I don't drink Red Bull unless now I will if they do have a shot. I like to shoot in the bar that mixes with Red Bull. It's like Red Bull and Malibu.
Red Bull is like my least favorite energy drink. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan of it.
When I think of Red Bull, I think of people who pop pills
Wait, why?
because I know people that were drug heads and they pop pills and they always down it with Red Bull.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
That's
a
what-
terrible combo.
That's why when I see Red Bull, I'm like, nope. I'll take a Monster before I take a Red Bull.
That's a catastrophic combo. Energy drink and pills. Why would you do that?
Wait, I damn near. I thought I almost killed myself one year from Mardi Gras. I was drinking Monster and vodka.
That sounds good.
Yeah, but I OD'd. I wouldn't say OD'd on it, but I went overboard with it. I had when it comes. Usually, a case of energy drinks is a 4-pack.
Yeah.
I bought 2 4-packs of the regular Monster, and I bought a fucking gallon jug and filled it with vodka. And
Oh, that's a lot.
I drank I drank a case and a half of Monster and half a gallon of vodka in fucking 6 hours one year from Mardi Gras.
Oh boy, that sounds freaking dangerous. Actually,
I don't know.
holy shit!
I don't know how the fuck. And it was one of the worst vodkas ever. I had the cheapest vodka. I put Taka in it.
Oh god, what the hell is that? Like?
It's one of the worst vodkas ever. Not a Grey Goose, maybe the best vodka ever.
That I can agree with. I've had that like once, and I enjoyed the shit out of it.
No, fuck, I can't remember the damn name. There's
I just
this,
want to try
like,
the rocks. I just want to try the rocks tequila, and that's it.
no, there's I can't remember the name. There's this like blue fucking drink that you can like freeze to death. I can't remember the name of the bottle. God, we drank that whole bottle one time.
Oh god.
It's like I can't remember what the name of the fucking drink was. It was like it had like 40% proof alcohol in it. I can't fucking remember what it was called.
Holy shit. 40 proof? What the fuck?
Hang on.
That's some pretty strong shit, actually. What the hell?
Hypnotic. That's what it was.
Oh, right. There it is.
Oh yeah, hey, I had a fucking crazy time with Hypnotic. We used to drink the fuck out of that shit. Man, I had a lot of bad memories with that. Yeah, Hypnotic.
Damn.
That shit ain't no fucking joke.
I
That's
gotta
what
get me
they.
some-
That's what.
I gotta get me some Jack Daniels, so next time we ever have a gathering of idiots, I just got fucking bottles of Jack.
I'm a Crown Royal guy. I rather Crown Royal. I'm a Crown Royal guy. Actually,
Never had it, but I would love to.
I have a peach. I have the peach up here on my fridge.
I've never had Crown Royal, but I'm tempted to try it once.
I got the original Crown Royal up there, and I got Crown Royal peach is the fucking best.
I thought you were gonna tell me you had Crown Royal apple up there.
Oh, I've had apple too. Apple's good. I don't have it up there no more, but I've had the salted caramel. That one was good. I still got my peach. Like I always buy that peach. That peach is the fucking.
Crown Royal has salted caramel flavor.
Oh yeah, it came out back in 2018.
That sounds amazing, actually.
I like to drink it with Sprite though.
Okay, that answers the question.
Yeah, that's it. I will refuse to drink Jägermeister.
I've heard bad things about drinking Jaeger, so
That shit put me in the hospital one time, and the legend is true. If you ever see the bottle and it's got the deer
the deer on it, yeah.
with the cross in a circle,
Uh,
it stands for "Oh dear Lord."
Wait, why did Jaeger put you in the hospital?
Because 1 year for New Year's, I did a line of not a line of cocaine, a line of Jaeger.
I was about to say, you can't tell me you were hitting the Tony Khan over here.
No, they had a line. They put out put a line of 8 shot glasses. Me and
All full of Jaeger.
full of Jaeger, and me and
Holy shit.
one of my best friends. That's what he drinks like, but he drinks that shit like fucking water. Like that's how fucking nasty it is.
Holy shit.
Like he could take a fifth to the head and be fine. Like I took a baby sip and I want to puke. Well, I was talking shit, like, cause I beat him in a game of quarters, and I was talking shit. I'm like, man, I'll fuck your bitch ass up in a shot off. He was like, all right, motherfucker. They put a line of 8 shot glasses on both sides. I said, I made the big mistake. I said, I'll let you pick the shit.
Oh, well.
What's he call? He calls his baby Jägermeister. I said, fuck.
Oh, boy.
So all right, and this is him.
Just downing them.
That like nothing. Like, and then he'll after the 4th one, he's like, this is me. On the 1st one, this is me.
Oh, God.
Like that's me. Fucking gagging. Yeah, but I hit too much of it that it tore the lining in my stomach, and I had to go to the fucking hospital.
Yeah, I've heard bad things about drinking Jaeger, so I'm scared to death to ever drink it once.
That's why I hate when people want to buy the shot for me and they fucking choose Jaeger bombs. I'm like, fuck you.
I mean, I'm used to anything, so you can pretty much give me anything. But like, I've never had Jaeger ever, and I just because all I hear is bad things.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It ain't worth it.
God, I'm never gonna try it.
I would do Patron before I do Jägermeister.
Sounds about right.
And I'm not big on Patron either.
I've never had it either.
I've done it. I used to drink it. I used to shoot it, but then I've overused it too much. Like when I graduated high school, my brother got me a fucking 5th of Patron as a graduation gift.
Shit.
That he got from someone else. Like he didn't buy it because he wasn't old enough to buy it. He was only 19 when he got someone to buy it for him, and he gave it to me as a gift. And it's that you might know what I'm talking about. Like it's in a green box. Like it's like it's shaped the bottle's shaped like a vase, and it's got that wooden fucking cork in it like a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
It's in a green box. I forgot the fucking brand of it. He got me the biggest bottle you can get. Like that thing was fat. And when I graduated high school, back where I graduated, where I'm from, they don't do it anymore because this new generation is a bunch of fucking pussies. But when I graduated, if you graduated in the 2000s, we were fucking alcoholics. Like we would throw these private graduation parties at like the community centers and stuff. The parents of the graduates would throw these parties, and each graduate would get a certain amount of wristbands. If you have that's the only way you're getting in. Like if it's a private event, you have this wristband, you can get in. Now, not every graduate was a part of this private party. There was about 28 of us that was part of this private party. They each gave us 7 wristbands. So 28. We had over 400 people in that fucking building,
Holy shit!
and we had a kick-ass fucking DJ and everything. I don't know how many people got. I don't know how many people got pregnant after that night, but it was.
Who you? You were DJing?
No, they had an awesome DJ.
I was about to say, weren't you? Didn't you DJ? Like, come on.
Oh, I've DJed them parties before. A few years later, they were always fun to do. But no, we brought that fucking bottle of Patron before I even realized. When people, we had 400 people in that fucking building. When they saw it, everybody wants to take it and pass it, shoot it and pass it around.
Oh no!
Before, okay, I was so fucked up for graduation. I didn't even remember shit. I didn't remember walking, and I didn't even remember getting up and getting my scholarships. I was so fucking wasted. But before they took that bottle from us, I didn't realize me and my brother and my fucking best friend already drunk half that fucking big ass bottle.
Oh shh! I could just think it didn't take long for that thing to be empty.
For my sister's wedding, a guy I used to work for, he was in the wedding. He was a groomsman. He brought a bottle of Crown, but it was that. I ain't talking about no fifth of Crown or a liter. It was that big ass bottle where it had a handle like a jug. It was like a glass.
Oh Jesus!
With a handle. I don't know how big that is. I don't know if that's 2 liters or whatever.
Oh,
they were passing that bitch around. I think I hit it one time. That was it, because I was already fucked up on Fireball and Bud Light. I remember, I think two hours later, I saw that bottle get passed around. They only had about 3 sips left in that fucking bottle. I'm like, oh my God.
Wait, you got fucked up off of Bud Light and fucking Fireball?
Oh, there was a little more than that too.
I was about to say, you can't tell me just Fireball and Bud Light got you fucked up.
Yeah, but we had these fucking mini bottles of Fireball. Like, they bought that for the whole wedding party. They bought like 6 cases of those fucking little mini Fireballs. They were not chilled. I can take a Fireball chilled. I can't drink that shit hot.
I said, listen, I love Fireball, but like that shit will never get me fucked up.
Hit 9 of those little fuckers hot and it'll get you fucked up.
I don't even think it would do it. You'd have to give me like a whole bottle, like an actual big bottle, and just fucking kill it.
No, if it's like fucking Mardi Gras or something, it's the shots that get you fucked up. Like, I'll drink a case of beer and I'll be fine, but it's those fucking like upside down shots, the fucking Jello shot.
Yeah.
The Mardi Gras crew I'm in, we make 4,000 Jello shots for Mardi Gras.
Shit.
And there's only 40 of us on the float. 4,000 Jello shots for 40 people.
Damn, that's a lot.
And they're either in syringes or they're in those little fucking cups.
Oh yeah, them fucking little plastic like colored party cup things
with the lids that you just pop off.
Yep.
Sometimes we'll put the fruit in it, like we'll put a pineapple in the middle, or we'll put a fucking strawberry in the middle. Well, you don't do that anymore, but we used to do that shit.
Holy shit.
We'll make the pudding shots too. The pudding shots are fucking best. We did a cookies and cream one. We did a fucking strawberry one.
That sounds good.
You don't even taste the vodka when you eat the cookies and cream one.
That's crazy. The only thing I ever had that was like different was somebody tried to make fucking Skittles vodka and it came out like shit.
I won't do any of that kind of shit.
Not an absolute fucking flavor whatsoever. It was just straight up vodka with a color. And I was just like, well, disappointed.
I used to drink moonshine. I had a guy I used to work with. He was from West Virginia. He'd bring me some fucking real moonshine, not that shit you buy at a fucking gas station.
I had a guy who used to make it himself also, and he would freaking give it to me. I used to work fucking retail. I used to work retail. He'd show up at night, and I would just be like, he'd be like, I got this, I got this, I got this. And I'm just like, I'll take that, that, and that.
They would overcharge me, but it would be worth it. Like, he'll give it to me in a mason jar. Sometimes he'll give me flavored ones, or he'll give me just straight clear ones. But he would warn me. He was like, 2 baby sips will get you where you want. He's like, don't drink too much of it. Don't hit it too hard, or you'll probably be dead. And I'm like, oh, come on. He wasn't fucking lying. Like good enough to, but he'd give me it in a jar, but you're only supposed to drink enough that shit can last you over a year.
Holy shit.
That was a long time ago. I can't tell you the last time I had moonshine. That was fucking a long time ago.
Yeah.
Damn, you never. How come you never drink live on the shows like we do? I mean, you drink your RC.
I don't go out and grab like all this stuff. I would love to though. I need to go out there and get this stuff.
You know, so like if you go do your grocery shopping, you just don't go buy like a 12-pack of beer.
No, I wish I would start doing that shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm right there, so I can literally just go hit the liquor store and get whatever at the time. But I'm just like too stupid to remember.
Hey, it is what it is. Never over
Hey,
there.
I don't care. I want to. I will fucking grab. I don't care what at this point, and just make sure I have it. So next time we ever have a gathering of idiots, you might get drunk me on there, which will be interesting.
You got to get your brother on too. I got to see him drinking too, or he don't drink that much.
He will. It's just it's gonna take a little bit to get him drunk.
The only bad thing about me is like if I drink way too much, I get to that point where I'm that loud, annoying drunk that don't shut up.
I'm just the funny drunk. That's
Or
it.
if we're in like a loud, like if I'm in a bar where there's like a DJ and shit playing and it's shit's too loud, when you're like you can be like face to face with me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
I'll just start screaming at you. What?
You want to dance? You want to get out of here and fuck? No, okay.
We only
I'm
got him
going
drunk
piss.
once.
Yeah.
We only got him drunk once
Oh,
ever, and it was just like he was like slurring speech and just kind of like rocking in place the entire time, and I'm just laughing at him like he's gonna fall out of his chair, and I'm just gonna laugh. It would have been fucking hysterical, but he didn't. So
oh yeah. Fuck, I think I'm gonna call it a night now too.
okay.
When's your next episode drop?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Well, technically today, you could say.
I'll be looking out for it. Well, we were supposed to record an interview with an indie wrestler, but we had to reschedule it to the 11th. So I get a nice little break. Well, I get a break tomorrow,
Mhm.
maybe Monday too. Jordan, I go back to the boys of SummerSlam this next week. This is my week off. I go finish the
Mhm.
last four. Jordan's episode's next. We're either recording it Monday or we're gonna record it Tuesday. I don't think it's Tuesday.
Okay.
We're gonna record, which means I need to go back and rewatch it. But that ain't gonna take long.
Yeah, we're only covering like a few things in this episode. It's mostly just going to be like Forbidden Door, probably Blood and Guts, and then Money in the Bank, and that'll probably be about it.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna holler at you later.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna end this. I should have ended it a long time ago. This might be the longest